It's the WEOL Gridiron Clash. Tonight, the Clearview Clippers take on the Fairview Warriors. It's brought to you by Cobos Insurance Center, your Grange independent agent. Lorain County Community College, real education for good jobs. Eco Tree Services, your complete tree care company. And by the Nick Abraham Auto Mall, Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. We're getting set for the Clearview Clippers and the Fairview Warriors. But first, the Cobos Insurance pregame show on WEOL.com and the WEOL mobile app.
And the Cobos Insurance Center pregame show brings us to Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. It is week 1 in the high school football season 2024. Ron Yance, Rocco Nucci, along with you tonight on Stream 2 at AM 930 WEOL. And it's the Clippers of Clearview, the home team, taking on the Warriors of Fairview High School. Rocco, you had an opportunity to talk to both coaches this week leading up to this game. How do you look at it as both teams march across the field, the captains from both schools, and they'll have the coin flip at the 50-yard line?
Well, Ron, first and foremost, an absolute honor to be here next to you on opening night here in 2024. Also want to shout out Bruce Van Dyke back in studio control. What a week for him at the Lorain County Fair, pulling some double duty today, running the board for us back in the studio. But no, it's an interesting matchup here tonight. Of course, an old Patriot Athletic Conference rivalry. These two teams are once both in the Stripes division, playing on an annual basis. So an old rivalry renewed. I know Mike Collier of Clearview was a part of many of those contests. Sean Rance, the head coach for Fairview, he came along the year after that league disbanded, so he was never really a part of that, but he was still excited to kind of renew this. For Clearview, you know, you're coming off that 10-win season. We talked to Coach Collier on the field here before the pregame show, going from 18 seniors down to a group of 4, so it's a year of adjustments for Clearview, but I don't think they want to look at it that way necessarily. They'd rather say, hey, we are reloading instead of rebuilding, and we'll see how that kind of kicks off tonight. For Fairview, a tough 2023 campaign, just one win under their belt. They're in a new conference this year, moving from the GLC to the CVC.
And they're in a brutal conference.
It's brutal. You got Kirtland in there, Berkshire, who they saw in the playoffs last year.
Why is Fairview in that? That's a conversation for another day, but
well, yes, exactly, and you'll hear it in some of our pregame comments talking about that conference schedule eventually when that rolls around. I don't know if you knew, Ron, I did some 7th grade girls basketball coaching at Fairview last year. We played that CVC schedule, and yeah, I'll admit some of those road trips were a little lengthy for Fairview. But no, it'll be an interesting matchup, a team coming off a lot of success going up against a team that didn't have a lot of success last year, but both, I think, come into the season very, very hungry to get after it.
Clearview won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Fairview will receive the football to start this football game. But we are still about 27 minutes away from that opening kickoff. Rocco, this week, got an opportunity to talk to both football coaches. We are going to hear how they feel about their team as they head into the first Friday night of the football season. After this break, we'll kick it off with Sean Rance, the head football coach of Fairview, when we're back on the Cobos Insurance Center pregame show on Stream 2 on WEOL.
We all know for
Rocco, what song is that?
Oh, man, this... couldn't tell you.
You got Bruce in charge. It could be anything.
It could be anything, and I'm usually not the one to know these things. Rob will ask me, Bruce will ask me, you'll ask me. What's that song? I don't know.
Make something up.
Yeah, it all just goes over my head.
Rocco, the Clippers of Clearview have come out, broken their banner from their locker room. They have headed to their side of the football field, and we are just moments away inside, approaching 4 minutes now from kickoff of the 2024 high school football season. The Clippers tonight at home against the Warriors of Fairview.
And it should be an interesting contest like we heard in the pregame show, the Cobos Insurance Center pregame shows, which continues now, I should say. We heard from Clearview head coach Mike Collier as well as Sean Rance of the Fairview Warriors. Again, an old rivalry renewed. These two teams once in the Stripes division of the PAC, the Patriot Athletic Conference. So it'll be interesting to see these two sides here tonight. And kind of, you know, something I said back at the start of the broadcast, 2 different years last year, Clearview hitting that 10-win mark for the first time in a couple of years. They had that deep postseason run that was a lot of fun to follow along with. But they had 18 seniors on that team, now down to just 4 on this year's iteration of the Clippers. So some inexperience that they'll have to battle through for sure, but we'll see how quickly they're able to get some of that out of the way. And for Fairview, like we mentioned, just the 1 win last year. They're in a new conference now, though, that Chagrin Valley Conference. It's a complete Lorain County League non-conference slate for them, as they'll also see Brookside as well as Columbia later on in this non-conference. So Fairview looking to get off on the right foot here on the road.
Rocco, I'm pumped up, man, for a couple of reasons. One, you and I have yet to do a football game together, and I've admired your work on WEOL. You're doing a great job. We have done the Saturday wrap-up show both during football and basketball, but tonight is our maiden voyage together on a football broadcast, so I'm pumped about that. You are doing a great job with the Browns reports with JT, John Tellich, and then, everything that you're doing at WEOL Radio, all of the pregame shows, the coaches' interviews. A week ago, you guys, after the bad weather, were finally rescheduled, you and Rob, to do the coaches' warm-up show. So tonight it all comes together, doesn't it?
It does.
We're ready to play football.
And you know just about everybody in the house, by the way.
Well, you know what? We just took a picture of Dan Forthover, who is the public address announcer here at Clearview High School, and a Lorain County Community College employee, myself, who is doing the game tonight, and a Lorain County Community College employee, Kathy Hodke, who was a 1974 graduate of Clearview High School and a Lorain County Community College employee, here tonight to cheer on her Clippers. And then maybe the most famous of the 4 in that picture will be Annalisa Longo, the mother of Josiah Longo, who is a 2-time All-Ohio defensive end for the Clippers of Clearview. Annalisa, of course, as I said, the mom of a player, but also an employee of Lorain County Community College. So we're everywhere.
Who don't you guys have over there? My goodness.
And LCCC, a proud sponsor of high school football and basketball.
Yes, they are.
On WEOL. We're set to kick this thing off and, ready to kick it off for Clearview. Physically is an imposing kicker. It's Jack Fail, and he's an offensive lineman. And actually, it's not Fail, it's Ethan Gifford. Manny Moore, the number is 52. I'll get it right. It's Manny Moore.
We'll get there.
275. Manny approaches the 40, kicks it off. It's a line drive, and it's fumbled at the 20. Ball's loose on the turf, and it's recovered by the Warriors. It's recovered at the 32-yard line, and it's recovered by Danny Becker. So Fairview will start 1st and 10. The football season is in its first offensive series for the Warriors. They'll start at their own 33-yard line. As Rocco mentioned in the pregame show, Fairview comes into this season off a season a year ago where they just won game. They won just one game. They lost 9. They were 1-9 in that 10-game season. And under center will be their third-year starter, Burke Lowry. He's the quarterback. He's in the shotgun, standing back at his own 28-yard line. One back in the backfield with him. Runner in motion, handoff to the first back through, and that's Brady Weir. And Weir, the senior, gets across the 35. They'll mark him at the 35. It'll be a pickup of 2. Set him up a 2nd and 8. Rocco, will we see a lot of Burke Lowry tonight, do you think?
We certainly will. I mean, he's been with this program since he was a freshman, been the starter for a couple of years now, so we'll see a lot of him for sure.
Clearview shows blitz. Lowry to throw. Good pressure. Lowry over the middle, complete at the 47-yard line. Quick pass and a connection. Burke Lowry to his wideout, and it's Pat Canfield, the senior, with the catch. Canfield gets the first down, and the ball is marked at the 45. So it's a pass for 10 yards.
Good tempo here by this Warrior offense, speeding things up on the early goings.
Lowry in the shotgun. He'll hand it off again, and this one goes absolutely nowhere. Brady Weir got it. As soon as he got it, he got tackled. He got tackled by the kickoff specialist, Manny Moore. Moore's at 275. And the rest of the line is little compared to him defensively. Xavier Ricks, 170. Montez Sanchez-Miller, 180. And then Josiah Longo, the best player on that line, 5'9", 175. 2nd and long. To pass is Fairview. Lowry with pressure. He's going to step up. Still in the pocket. Rolls out and Just throws one in the dirt near midfield. It falls incomplete. Trying to get it to J.R. Beto on 2nd and 11. And there's a player down for Clearview, and I think it's Moore.
I think that is. Oh, no.
And that is not a good sign. Depth is already a weakness for Clearview as they start this football season. And Manny is laying at the Fairview 36-yard line. He's got his head in the turf, and he's laying on his belly. And the trainers are out to take a look at him. Mike Collier's out to take a look at him as head coach. Moore is a two-way starter for this football team. He's the left guard on offense. And now he's sitting up, which is a good sign.
When he's thrust into kicking duties as well, Clearview down a kicker to start this season.
They lost 2 kickers, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Coach Collier was telling us, started the season, he thought he had 2, and now he has Manny Moore, his offensive lineman. Manny's up. Coach Collier and the trainer helped him up, and he will have to leave the field. He'll come off under his own power, though, and that's a real good sign for the home fans who happen to be right in front of us here at Tom Hoke Field.
Yeah, that is not somebody they want to see go down at any point this season, but let alone drive number 1 of week 1.
I mentioned Tom Hoke Field, of course. Coach Hoke, the legendary Hall of Famer at Clearview High School, 1978 to 97. He won more football games here as a head coach than anybody in the history of the program. It's 3rd and long. Lowry to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Rushed. Brought down. Sacked at the 38-yard line. Lowry socked by Josiah Longo. Longo with the first sack of the season. A season that will be loaded with sacks for that young man.
Coverage sack right there. Great coverage downfield by the Clipper defensive backs. Corey Armeline, Troy Jones, Isaiah Garcia, all back there, wreaking havoc.
So Longo's sack backs the football back up to the Fairview 39. Line of scrimmage is at the 45, so it's 4th and 16. And the Warriors will punt it. Set to return for Clearview is J.G. Hill and Isaiah Garcia. They are standing at their 20, and there's a flag pre-snap. A year ago, Clearview finished their season. They made it all the way to the 3rd round of the state football playoffs. They finished 10-3. They lost to South Range. I did that game.
Was that you on that
Jason
call?
Ward and I did that game.
Oh, that's right. We did have Jay Ward do a postseason game with us.
Clearview gave South Range everything they needed and wanted and didn't want for a half of football.
That's right.
And it's a motion penalty on Fairview. So that's going to back the Warriors up 5 more. And then in the second half in that state playoff game, that talented team, that experienced team, that tradition-rich team at South Range just took it over. But Clearview certainly earned their respect. So as Rocco mentioned, they have just 4 seniors on this football team. They lost nearly everybody. I mean, they keep Longo on defense. They keep Christensen on offense, but they are starting anew. The punt is off, fielded, then fumbled, then fallen on at the 36-yard line. And that's J.G. Hill for Clearview. Dropped it, fell on it, and it's Clearview. 1st and 10. They'll have the ball at their own 35-yard line. So let's take a look at that Clearview offense. Along that offensive front, left to right, Anthony Lockman's at left tackle, 6'4", 285 junior. Left guard, Manny Moore, 6'1", 275 junior. At center, Trenton Louder, 6 foot, 200-pound junior. Right guard, Zach Young, 6 foot, 210 sophomore. And at right tackle, Brody Wacker, 6 foot, 222, a sophomore. Christensen, the quarterback, Cy, the junior, third-year starter in the shotgun. He'll throw it, pass over the middle. It's complete up to the no, they're going to call it incomplete. Looked like a complete pass that time over the middle from Christensen to Tyler Chapman, but they'll say Tyler dropped it, so it's 2nd and 10. I mentioned the left side of that line, Moore and Lockman. We talked to Coach Collier before the game, and he said what, Rocco?
He said that's the side they're going to be moving behind more often than not. There's some big boys. They're strong. They'll get a good push. He definitely wants to go along that left side, but they throw right side on that opening play. Interesting.
2nd and 10. Christensen, a little bubble screen left side, far side near the Fairview bench, and it's positive yards for the Clippers. Garcia caught it, weaves his way up to the 43, and he's tackled there, so it's a good pickup. It's a pickup of nearly 8, and they'll call it 8, and that sets up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. Christensen again in the shotgun. He'll hand it off, first back through, pushing the line of scrimmage up to the 45. Tristan Antilli, the junior tailback. Tristan needed 2, he got 3, so they'll move the chains. 1st and 10 Clippers, now at their own 46-yard line. Clearview a year ago had only 2 losses in the regular season. One was in the non-conference schedule at Lakewood, 3rd game of the year. They lost 41-40 in a shootout. And the other one was during the LC8 season. They lost to Columbia. Another quick pass out of the shotgun. Clearview, positive yards down the right sideline, cross midfield, and run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. On the Clearview side is Devin Jackson. So Jackson goes from the 45 of Clearview to the 39 of Fairview. He's going to pick up 16 yards.
It was a good block downfield by Tyler Chapman, too. Probably sprung him for a couple of extra, 4 or 5 yards or so.
Jackson and Garcia will split out wide to the left. It's Christensen in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 39. Clearview with the football on Fairview's 39, and Tilly with a handoff. And blowing up that offensive line was Fairview's defensive front. The down 3 linemen for the Warriors as they tackle Antilli in the backfield. They'll tackle him for a 2-yard loss. Danny O'Neill, a sophomore at 240. Ernie Alcaro, a senior at 220. And Danny Larkin, a senior at 225.
It was Mason Woodworth, the linebacker, coming through and making a play there.
When those defensive linemen can stand up the offensive linemen, those linebackers have a big day. Christensen across the field, passes open, complete at the 30. Move it to 20, down to the 10, 5, and tiptoeing near the sideline. And right out of bounds inside the 5 is Tyler Chapman. That was just a simple little dump pass over the middle, Rocco, turned into nearly a touchdown.
Yeah, that's just great blocking, and Woodworth again came through pretty much untouched for that Fairview defense. Christensen made a miss, and it was pretty much game over after that. Great job by the Clipper receiver to find himself some open space and rack up the yards after catch.
Cy Christensen just looks so in his place back there. He's so calm, so comfortable, so confident. You talked to Coach Collier in the pregame show about this is a 3rd-year starter as a junior. I mean, he has been in that shotgun since his freshman year. Mm-hmm. He'll get the snap. He'll hand it off. Antilli right up the middle, and Antilli's in the touchdown. Tristan Antilli from 6 yards out, and Clearview with their opening drive goes down and scores.
He just got right behind Trenton Lauder and Manny Moore, the center and left guard, respectively there. And, look, that's what Coach Collier said in the pregame, like we talked about. They want to run behind that left side. They're big, they're strong, they get a push. And right there, Tristan Antilli, all he had to do was run forward, and he found himself into the end zone. Clippers
will go for 2. Handoff, they'll try the left side, and a 2-point conversion they'll get. Running behind that huge left side was J.G. Hill. Hill's in for the 2-point conversion, running behind Moore and Lockman. And with 8 minutes and 38 seconds on the first quarter clock, Clearview has taken their first drive, and they've gone all the way down the field and scored. They lead 8-0.
Impressive drive, no doubt. They play the defense. They get themselves in good field position offensively. Nearly fumbled the possession on the punt because of a muffed punt, but they recover it, and Clearview strikes first. Wonder if Manny Moore is still good to kick off. Looks like maybe not.
They've got Isaiah Garcia and J.G. Hill out near where that kickoff will happen. And I'm actually not sure. Is it going to be Garcia or Hill? I think it's going to be Hill.
I think it is Hill.
J.G. Hill's going to kick it off. And he kicks it off, a nice end-over-end kick to the 18-yard line. Warriors up over the 25 to the 30, and falling down after being tackled at the 38 is Pat Canfield for Fairview.
Work to do for that Warrior offense. Just got a little stuck in the mud last time around, went backwards on a couple of plays, and just never really got in any kind of rhythm or groove.
I think the key for Fairview will be on offense, I think, controlling that front. If their offensive linemen can keep Clearview's defensive line in check and they allow Lowry time to make plays, he certainly has the ability to do it.
It's 2 seniors and a junior up front, so they got the experience.
Lowry's in the shotgun, and he'll pass it. Right side near his bench, it's complete. It'll pick up 8. Savion Harris caught it near midfield. He's run out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Savion Harris, one of those basketball players turned football player. He's been with the program for a couple of years, but I think he sort of helped that recruiting front in terms of getting the hoopsters back onto the gridiron.
High snap. It's going to go all the way inside the 30. Falling on it, and Clearview will recover. Clippers recover at the 19-yard line. Well, that's a snap that never had a chance.
It's Devin Jackson pouncing on it. He just outran one of those Fairview Warriors to the football. I think that was Woodworth that maybe had a look at it, but well, I tell you what, Devin Jackson just ran right by him and was the first one to the ball. Coach Collier, man, if you're him, you got to love the effort right now you're seeing from your guys in blue.
Devin Johnson, or Jackson, the outside linebacker, just a sophomore. This is a young Clearview team. A year ago, they win 10 games, make it to the 3rd round of the state playoffs, but they graduated 18 seniors. And they graduated offense that, is big number-wise. We'll talk about that as the game goes on. 1st and 10, ball on the 20. Christensen with a flip, running with the football for Clearview, running around the right side, really no room, and actually losing a yard, I think, will be Devin Jackson. I talked about the offense that Clearview lost. They lost, listen to this, Rocco. Last year rushing, they had 1,828 yards as a team. They lost 1,703 of that to graduation. Receiving the ball on passes, they had over 2,500 yards, 2,543. They lost all but 11 yards in receiving to graduation. So this is a team that will be reinvented. Christensen will hand it off until he's got it, banging bodies right side, and Tristan's inside the 20. He'll be brought down at the 18-yard line. That'll set up a 3rd and long. So, you look at the numbers, 1,700 yards rushing out of 1,828 you lose. You lose everything but 11 passing out of over 2,500. But so far tonight, it looks like just lockstep, doesn't it?
Well, and credit the defense, I think, for a lot of that as well. Obviously, this drive with the field position, but they gave them the confidence with that first stop. And when your defense is playing well offensively, that allows you to get a little more creative.
3rd and long, Christensen to pass. Pressure, going to step up in the pocket.
Ooh.
Christensen fumbled the football. Ball on the turf at the 16, and the Warriors say they have it.
Yep.
And so do the officials. That is a big defensive play by the linebacking crew for Fairview.
It's Brady Weir jumping on the football, the senior, right place, right time. And, boy, that was almost unforced by Christensen, right? Kind of like the unforced turnover in basketball. He was just running loose with the ball, and it popped free.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, he had that ball, Rocco, in his right hand and really had zero protection on it.
Cardinal sin.
So Fairview dodges a bullet. Clearview looked like they were going to go in for their 2nd touchdown and take a commanding lead with just minutes gone in this opening quarter. The Warriors' defense causes a fumble by Clearview quarterback Cy Christensen.
Little week 1 nerves coming into effect here, Ron.
Lowry at quarterback. He'll throw it. Lowry over the middle. Pass complete. Beto. JR got it at the 25. Up across the 30. Still running. 35. Pushing the line. And JR Beto, with some leg muscle, pushes his way up to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, there is a reason they were excited about him making his way onto the football field this year. Beto, his first year in the program. Like I mentioned to you pregame, Ron, a heck of a basketball player, J.R. Beto, and that athleticism transfers here to the football field. You saw it on display right there. Nice pickup.
Getting some scores coming in. We'll get to them in a second. Lowry, deep ball over the middle, and it's over the outstretched hands of Savion Harris at the Clearview 30. Craig Couch tells us it's 6-0 Ridgeville over North Olmsted with just 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Buckeye leading in their game 7-0. Here it's 8-0 Clearview over Fairview. Week 1 of the 2024 high school football season. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi along with you tonight.
How about this from Cleveland Browns Stadium on the radio and Stream 1? Avon up 7-0 right now over St. Ignatius.
Boy, the Eagles' pre-conference schedule is something to behold.
You ain't kidding.
Lowry in trouble again. Lowry down. He is sacked all the way back to the 26-yard line, and he's brought down deep in his own territory by Clearview's Xavier Ricks.
Xavier Ricks, not the biggest guy, 5'10", $170, but it doesn't matter when you're getting after the quarterback like that. Impressive from that young man. What do you got for 3rd and 19 in the playbook there, Ron?
Your best play. Lowry with a snap. Here comes that rush. Screen is set up. Little dump pass to the fullback, and it's not going to go anywhere.
That's played well. That's played well defensively.
Fairview is going to pick up maybe 6. They needed about 16. And on the tackle for the Clippers that time was Devin Jackson from his linebacker spot.
Cam Williams in there as well. Those linebackers, both sides really, but especially for Clearview, they're playing their tails off here in this first quarter.
Ball's marked at the 33. Lowry will punt it on 4th and a lot. And back at the 30 is the dynamic duo of Isaiah Garcia and J.G. Hill. Hill's going to catch it at his own 30. He'll run right, and Hill breaks a tackle at the 35, runs into 4 or 5 Warriors, tries to push the pile, and he gets it up to the 39-yard line. And that's where the Clippers will start. 1st and 10.
See if this Fairview defense tightens up at all. I know they got the fumble last time around, but outside of that, it's really been Clearview getting almost whatever they want offensively. Christensen's done well to avoid the rush. The receivers have done a good job of finding open space, sitting down, and racking up yards after the catch. So if you're Fairview, we'll see what kind of adjustments they make. It's still early, but definitely want to tighten things up, I think.
Christensen, the junior quarterback in the shotgun. A year ago, he threw for 2,372 yards. One back in the backfield. Joining him back there is Devin Jackson. Christensen's going to hand it off. Clearview had a slot in motion, and it was Hill. Hill got the football up to the 46. There's a flag on the play. Flag at the site of the tackle. Typically, that's a face mask. And that is the signal that I'm seeing. Personal foul, face mask, and it's on Fairview. So that's going to tack on 15. Ball was down at the 46. They're going to march it up to the 39-yard line.
Those jet sweeps, little touch passes, they've been problematic for Fairview to try and defend, whether it's J.G. Hill or Devin Jackson coming in motion, just that speed across that offensive line.
You know, talking to Coach Collier earlier in the week, and he was talking about, he lost Aiden Cruz a year ago, who was, literally
phenomenal
on the field all the time. And he said, but I think I got someone very similar, and it's J.G. Hill. Hill was a young man that came in late, and they only had him for a couple of weeks last year. Came in from Cleveland. They didn't really get to see him very much. And they said this year, and Tilly will get the handoff on 1st and 10, and Tilly's going to get all the way inside the 30, finally brought down at the 29-yard line. So Tristan and Tilly on a 1st and 10 goes 11. But Coach Collier said my number one challenge this year with J.G. Hill is to find time for him to get a breather. He said, I want him on the field in every situation. And you saw him kicking off tonight.
Right. Well, that's something he didn't want to have to do this early on in the season, but almost a good problem to have, right, when a kid's just so dang good that you can't find a way to bring him out of the game.
Christensen in the shotgun at his 33. He'll look to throw. Looking right. Now he's going to tuck, run it. Right sideline, run out of bounds just before the 20. They'll mark him at the 22-yard line. It was 1st and 10 at the 28, so the junior quarterback gets 6, sets up 2nd and 4.
And that's the maturity of Christensen right there, not forcing anything downfield when it wasn't there, and not panicking when he gets flushed out of the pocket either. Just kept his eyes downfield, rolled to his right, saw there wasn't anything there, and just took what the defense gave him. That was 6 yards.
2 receivers to his left, 1 backfield, and 1 in motion for Christensen. He'll hand it off to the back. First back through, tries the right side of the line, and running behind Young and Wacker is Cameron Williams. Williams, a 5'8", 165-pound junior. The running back situation this year is going to be, I think, figured out in the first 3 non-conference games. There's a timeout on the field. We're going to take this opportunity to take our own timeout. It's 8-0 Clearview over Fairview, 4:23 left to play in the opening quarter. You're listening to high school football on Stream 2 on AM 930 WEOL, always online
at WEOL.com.
Lorain County Community College's graduates are the first choice of local employers. From healthcare to manufacturing to technology, companies turn to LCCC to find the talent they need. Graduates land jobs they love. Our economy grows. Our region thrives. You can turn to LCCC. We will prepare you for the jobs of the future. Lorain County Community College. Always here, always ready. Enroll today.
The WEOL Gridiron Clash. On air, online, and on the mobile app.
It is a Lorain County Community College kind of night here, isn't it, Rocco?
It is.
They're
sure
everywhere.
Is. You got it sported proudly on your chest there.
I've got my LCCC T-shirt on. Rocco's got his WEOL T-shirt on. We are representing the marketing offices of both institutions tonight. Christensen will hand it off again. And again, the handoff goes to a running back by committee. Cameron Williams takes it. Try to run behind the center. Louder went left to Manny Moore, and it's enough for a first down on 3rd and short. They'll move the chains. It's now 1st and 10. Clearview will have the football at the Fairview 15.
Yeah, there's really 4 different guys they can rotate in at running back there. Longo, Yentilli, Williams, and Christian Stevenson all listed on the depth chart there. So
And Hill will get the ball, too.
Yep, absolutely he will.
So they lost Ethan Lorenzana. They didn't lose him. I mean, he graduated. They know where he's at. He's, off in college. Christensen gets the snap, rolling right. He's got pressure, going to throw it over the middle, and it's caught on the right sideline. And it's caught by Devin Jackson inside the 5, and he runs out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So Lorenzana a year ago, from the running back spot, the senior, rushed for over 1,000 yards. He's not here.
Yeah.
But judging by the first 3 drives of this new season, they've got some talent to look at.
No, I mean, the cupboard certainly wasn't empty. Coach Collier knew that. He told us that. I mean, there was still some depth there at the skill position. It was really the offensive and defensive lines he was most concerned about, despite having some experience there. But, I mean, so far in the offensive front and the defensive front, pretty good.
Williams and Antilli in the backfield. Ball's at the 5. Christensen will fake the throw, roll right, looking corner, and it is incomplete. Nobody open, so he just dumped it in no man's land, and he'll live for another play. Well, there's an experienced decision right there.
Yeah, no doubt. And, again, not forcing anything if it's not there. He realizes it's first down. We got a couple of more opportunities to punch this thing in if I don't get it right here. So live to fight another day, wait for the play call, and take what the defense gives you.
And here's the other day. 2nd and goal, ball at the 5, 3:40 left to play, opening quarter from Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. Williams in the backfield with Hill. Christensen will give it to Hill. Hill's going to run left, and he's going to run into the end zone. That is a touchdown by J.G. Hill. J.G. just outran everybody. The 160-pound speedster, the senior, goes in for the 2nd touchdown in this first quarter for the Clippers of Clearview.
I mean, we're seeing some traditional running, right, with Tristan Yentilli just kind of running off center or off guard. But, again, you throw in these jet sweeps and these outside runs where you get outside of those big, mean, physical tackles, and they can make a lot happen for you if you get outside of them, and it's exactly what happened there. Clearview's going to go for 2.
2-point conversion. Christensen fumbled the snap, picked it up, and ran it in the end zone. Who was in there? This big old guy named Augusto, number 4, Josiah. They list him at 185. You look like a tank to me.
I don't know about that.
But he led the blocking, and even though Christensen dropped the snap, Augusto had enough of everybody's shoulder pads on that Fairview defensive front to bring Christensen in. So with 3:35 left, opening quarter, it's Clearview 16, Fairview nothing. We'll take another timeout. You're listening to high school football on a Friday from Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. Clippers will kick it off, and back kicking it off is Manny Moore. That's good news. Warriors will receive it at their own 16, up across the 20, and brought down at the 30 in the middle of the field for Fairview. Will be Clark, LaMarcus Clark. So the Warriors will start at 1st and 10 at their own 30. And Rocco, Fairview has really struggled tonight to really get anything going offensively.
Well, the last drive started halfway promising before Burke Lowry had it snapped about a foot over his head. So they got to clean that up, obviously, first and foremost. And, yeah, just find your athletes in space, get it to J.R. Beto, let him create, let Burke Lowry open up that field a little bit. If you can get something going on the ground, great. It's not really their strength, but we'll see what kind of rhythm they can get in.
So Lowry, the snap, runner in motion, and just smoked as the Clippers broke through that offensive line. And that's the story of the night so far. Augusto, Josiah, came through from his linebacker spot. That defensive front for Clearview's tying up that offensive front for Fairview. And Clearview's linebackers are just, eating like it's Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, they're just coming right through that offensive front for Fairview. They just got to be better, right? Clearview's just winning that war up front, and it's really as simple as that.
It's a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Lowry to throw, looks right, throws right. Pass complete at the 30. Spinning out of a tackle and up to the 40 near a first down for the Warriors is Pat Canfield. The run after the catch by Canfield that time was outstanding.
And I think for Fairview, it's really that simple. Just find your guys in space, a little out route, something simple over the middle, sit down in that green space, and let your athletes go to work as Canfield did there.
So if you're Lowry, the quarterback, rhythm is everything, right?
Absolutely.
He's going to pitch it to Canfield. Canfield tries the left side, waits for a block, cuts inside the block at the 40, and he's tackled at the 43-yard line. So Pat Canfield picks up 3. Yeah, if you're a quarterback, everything's about rhythm. And if you can get into a rhythm, especially if you're a seasoned quarterback like the two that we're watching tonight, you can really, really do some great things. But so far, Burke Lowry has just been not able to get in that rhythm. Although the last 3 plays, he's looking real good. Lowry again. He'll step back, and there's a whistle and a stoppage of play at the snap.
It's going to go against the Clippers. Encroachment, I think.
You're exactly right. Public address announcer here tonight, Dan Forthover. Teammate of mine at Lorain County Community College. Dan, the salutatorian at Clearview.
How about that?
In the class of 2004.
Smarter than I. I'll tell you that much.
His brother Tim, 2007, is running the tape, film, or SD card, as you would say now. Lowry to throw. Pressure. Lowry trying to run out of it. Lowry does. A hop, skip, and a jump. Gets to the 50, and he's run out of bounds inside the 50 near the Clearview bench at the 49-yard line. Burke Lowry had no business gaining any yards on that, and he gets a first down. He needed 3. He was looking at a sack to lose about 6, and he picked up 4. If you follow my math.
That's what they got, man. That's Fairview. They're going to rely on their athletes. I mean, no discredit to the guys up front whatsoever, but I think Clearview just has the edge up there tonight, and if you're Fairview, you got to get the ball to those athletes. What do we got here? A water timeout, if I'm hearing things correctly?
Timeout for Fairview. We'll take 1, 2. 1:24 left in just the first quarter. It's 16-0 Clippers on AM 930 WEOL, Stream 2, and always online. Ball at the 49. Lowry to throw. Right flat. Pass complete, but until he is there, the linebacker, to tie up Fairview's running back. And Warriors are actually going to lose a yard. Nice job by Tristan Antilli, the junior middle linebacker. Want to thank our sponsors, Cobos Insurance Center, your Grange independent agent, Lorain County Community College, real education for good jobs, Eco Tree Services, your complete tree care company, and the Nick Abraham Auto Mall. It's Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Lowry to throw in the shotgun, rolling to his left, throws over the middle, pass complete at the 42 of Clearview. Breaking a tackle and running with it down to the 35 is J.R. Beto. Well, that's athleticism on two ends. One, the quarterback, Lowry, running to his weak side, opposite of his throwing shoulder and throwing across his body, and then Beto making a nice catch, a spin, breaking a couple of tackles, and picking up extra yards.
Yeah, Beto, a senior, 6 foot, $190. You're not going to see him running a bunch of fly routes down the sideline, but that's his strength right there, just getting in the soft spot of that defense and going to work.
Ball at the 36, a little pitch on a motion, and Clearview is not fooled. Getting the football was Mason Woodworth, and Mason gets up to the 35. He'll pick up a yard.
Much better drive for Fairview so far. Been downhill for the most part. They did get the penalty to help out, but looking better.
And the quarter is complete. It was a great one if you're a Clipper fan. Clearview, in their opener of the season, scored 2 touchdowns. They had two two-point conversions, and they lead 16-0. It's Ron Johnson and Rocco Nucci along with you tonight on Stream 2 on WEOL.com. It's High School Football Friday, Week 1. And we'll be back with the second quarter right after this timeout. Second and 9, Fairview, inside Clearview territory at the 36. Pressure on the quarterback, running for his life is Lowry, and he is sacked back near midfield and bringing him down. And, you know, this is a name that was not on the 2 deep. Josiah Augusto. And he has made play after play, including on the 2-point conversion, leading the way for Christensen.
We're going to have a talk with Coach Collier after
that was
this
like a
game.
secret weapon for him.
Yeah, no kidding. Was that by design, Mike? Savvy veteran of the 2-deep game. How about that?
So that's a big sack because Fairview had the football at the 34.
It's a drive killer, really.
They're now back at the 47. It was a loss of 13. Pass near the Clearview sideline. It's complete up to the 35. And tackled at the 35 is Mason Woodworth. So just a quick little pass, crossing route. Woodworth running from left to right, caught it, picked up another 8 yards, and it's going to set up a 4th and long. It's 4th and 8, but Fairview's going to go for it.
That's good third down play call. Makes this 4th and a little more manageable. Obviously, you didn't want to be staring at a 4th and 10 or any longer, 4th and 8. It's not easy. It's not a gimme by any stretch, but certainly a little more feasible for these Warriors.
The quarterback, Burke Lowry, figuring it out. Shuffling his teammates, putting them in the proper spot. It's 4th and 8 from the 34. Lowry looking left, throwing left. Pass complete at the 22-yard line. And that's enough for a first down. Pass to the 22, to number 22, Juju Clark. Picked up 12. They needed 8. Quick snap. Lowry looking end zone, right corner. Jump ball at the goal line. Ooh. And it's an incomplete pass.
Boy, Savion Harris and Troy Jones, the receiver and cornerback respectively there for both sides. That was a true jump ball right there, Ron. That was Burke Lowry saying, I think my guy can go up there and get it more than yours can. And
Harris at 6'1", you mentioned he's a basketball player.
Yep, yes he is, and it comes with the territory. But give credit to number 10 in blue, Troy Jones. He held his own over there. He's given up a little height, but you wouldn't know it there.
My partner, the 7th grade girls basketball coach a year ago at Fairview in their system, so he knows these players. Quick pass out right side. It's incomplete.
Lucky that was a forward pass. That could have been disaster if that was of the backwards variety.
Lowry tried to make a quick dump to LaMarcus Clark, and Clark couldn't hold on to it. Down on the ground right now, though, for Clearview is their best player, J.G. Hill. And Hill has got straight legs, looking for some help. Maybe he's cramping up. You know, when those legs straighten out like that, that's usually a cramp situation. It was a hot day today.
It was.
And tomorrow's supposed to be even hotter. 88 degrees. I was at the Lorain County Fair earlier this morning. When I went out there, you needed a hoodie. I mean, it was chilly this morning. But by 11 o'clock, that heat and humidity started to come in, and it's really turned into a hot day.
Yeah, August can get weird like that. The mornings and the evenings gets a little chillier. It feels like fall. But, man, that noontime to early afternoon, it picks up.
Well, that's exactly what's going on with Hill right now. He's cramping up. They've got JG on his back, and they are stretching his calf muscles and his hamstrings. Straight legs going right up in the air. It's 16-0 Clearview. Of course, this is the opening Friday night of the 2024 football season. These Clippers a year ago made it all the way into the third round of the state playoffs. 10 wins, 3 losses. They were 6-1 in LCA play. Conference co-champs record-wise with Columbia. Columbia won the tiebreaker because the Raiders handed the Clippers one of their 2 losses in the regular season, their only loss in the LCA. Hill's up, and we're ready to play football again.
Got to come out of play, though, doesn't he?
He does.
Okay. Oh, here he is. Yeah. Stay hydrated, young man. Gonna need it.
Now, there is a new quarterback in for Clearview. No, I'm sorry. It's 3rd and long for Fairview. Was mixed up for a second there. Burke Lowry going to roll left. Spins out of it to the 15, inside the 10. He got a first down. Lowry just took that. That looked like a run from the get-go. Took it out of the shotgun, rolled to his left towards his own sideline, and just ran it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
It maybe not a run from the get-go, but that Clearview defensive front, they turned it into a run real quick. A number of guys getting through there. And Lowry, he didn't really have any time to sit in that pocket to make a decision. He just had to get the heck out of there, and fortunately for him, had enough room to pick up that first.
So the ball's on the 12. 1st and 10 Fairview on the Clipper, 12-yard line. And there's a whistle, and the play will be stopped before it really gets started. You know, back-to-back, I think it's a motion penalty on Fairview, so they're going to back it up 5. It is. But back-to-back huge plays by the Warriors. That 4th and long, 4th and 8, they get 12. And then on the first down run by Lowry, they get another 12. And they're at the 12-yard line.
And those are the kinds of plays, you know, I know you're down 16-0 on the scoreboard if you're Fairview. Those are the kind of plays that kind of keep the faith alive, right? Give you some hope, give you a little bit of confidence, a little bit of juice moving forward. And, you know, I think the guys up front especially trying to fight that Clearview attack, they need some of that right now.
1st and 15 from the 17. Lowry in the shotgun as he has been all night. Looking left, pressure. Lowry goes down at the 27-yard line.
Guess who?
Yeah. Augusto.
It's like he's coming through untouched, Ron. I mean, Burke Lowry's taking the snap, and by the time he's making his second read, he's got 2 or 3 blue jerseys in his face. Number 4, Josiah Augusto, consistently been one of those guys.
Augusto, 5'8", 185, junior. There are a couple of Josiahs on that defensive front for Clearview that are hard to handle. One named Longo, the other named Augusto. 2nd and 24 from the 26. Lowry to throw, quick pass right side in front of that Clearview bench. Kind of a bubble screen that's going to pick up some yards. They're going to get almost 7 yards down to the 21, but they needed almost 27. They needed 24. So it's 3rd and 19. Fairview trying to get on the scoreboard. Down 16-0 inside 9 minutes to play in this opening half from Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School.
Feels like once a drive, they've been in these 3rd and 15 to 20-yard situations.
Lowry to throw, looking right, pressured, going to roll out of it, spin. Now he runs into all sorts of trouble. Lowry sacked all the way back to the 37-yard line. Officially, the sack will go to Xavier Ricks, but there were a couple other teammates in there making that an awful situation for Lowry, the quarterback.
Well, that's just too easy, right? If you're head coach Sean Rance over there on that Fairview sideline, that's just too easy for Clearview's defensive front. And if you're Burke Lowry, I don't know if you got to speak up, have some words for your big fellas up front or what, but something has to give. He cannot continue to drop back like that and immediately, and I do mean immediately, have 2, 3, even 4 guys in his face.
4th and 33. Fairview's actually going for it. They're going to throw it deep, left side. There's actually a player open at the 5, and the ball is tipped. Out there and open for a heartbeat for Fairview was J.R. Beto. And maybe I should say for a heart stoppage, because if you're Collier, you're going, oh, my gosh, they're going to get a first down and a touchdown. But it ended on a tipped ball, and coming in and making a late tip was, I believe that was Corey Armelin for Clearview.
I think it was. I think you're right. Game-saving play potentially there, or at least drive-saving defensively for Clearview.
So on a 4th and 33 from the 35, the Clippers or the Warriors do not complete it.
And timeout, I think, yep.
Timeout by the Clippers. Got to get their personnel right. We'll take one, too. 7:51 left in the half. It's Clearview 16, Fairview nothing. You're listening to high school football on a Friday night, online on Stream 2 on AM 930. Prowess for dancing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're putting on a show here in the press box.
Uh-oh.
Christensen got a fumble, or got a slip, and he fumbled it in the shotgun. And Cy falls on the football at the 30. He's going to lose 5 yards on that 1st and 10.
Both these quarterbacks a little loose with the pigskin at a couple of different junctures here tonight.
Exclusively out of the shotgun, both teams. Both teams with quarterbacks who are juniors, both teams with quarterbacks who are 3-year starters, and both of those quarterbacks wear number 7. Christensen standing at his 25. He gets the snap. It's good. He steps up, throws over the middle. It's picked. Intercepted at the 30. Running down to the 20 for the Fairview Warriors and inside the 15. And tackled at the 13 for Fairview is their linebacker, Vinny Rizzo. That one went right in the hands of Rizzo. I mean, Vinny had to think, what?
Honestly, I just don't think Cy saw him. I think Christensen just had his eyes downfield, thought he had a man open, Rizzo sitting underneath, and I just don't think he saw him. And, oh, boy, we got some more cramping potentially here for those Clearview Clippers.
Clearview's Devin Jackson holding his right calf. They better fill the water jugs up. Jackson's down on the field. He's on his back. He's cramping. He'll be all right. They'll stretch him out. We'll take a break. It's 16-0 Clearview. 7:07 left to play in this opening half of football. It's Ron Yance. It's Rocco Nucci. This is Stream 2 on WEOL. Always online, Rocco.
Over at WEOL.com.
Our best deals will make it your best summer at Nick Abraham Elyria Ford. Right now, get $1,500 off every in-stock Bronco Sport, with Jeep owners receiving an additional $1,000 rebate. Or get $3,000 off every 2024 Bronco in stock, with Jeep owners getting a $2,000 rebate. These deals won't last forever, so hurry down to Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, Route 57 on East Broad Street.
What's up, America? It's Rich Valdez, keeping an eye on everything going on in America at night. On tonight's show, we've got Professor Nick Giordano from Suffolk County Community College joining me for a review of everything that happened this week in Chicago, plus Do the protesters really have a point, as President Biden suggested? We're going to find out that and more coming up with me, Rich Valdez, on the next America at Night.
Tonight at 10 on WEOL. The WEOL Gridiron Clash. On air, online, and on the mobile app.
Ron and Rocco here at Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. They are still stretching out. Devin Jackson on the field for the Clippers of Clearview. So we've still got some moments of time to talk. And, Rocco, you're looking at scores across the county tonight.
I sure am, and we'll get one outside of the county, actually, down in Medina County. Our Medina County matchup on Stream 3 tonight on WEOL.com. Michael Keefe has the call there. Buckeye leading Cloverleaf right now 28-7 in the first half. And Buckeye's tailback, according to Michael Keefe, has 4 first-half rushing touchdowns, so that'll play for Coach Greg Dennison and the Bucks down there. Again, they lead 28-7. From Cleveland Browns Stadium with 5 minutes left to go in the first half, Rob Polinsky, Tom Evans, Gary Pelter are all down there. 21-7 Eagles on top of the Wildcats with 5 minutes left in the first half. So Mike Elder and crew up early on Big Bad.
What was that score?
21-7.
Wow.
Avon up over Ignatius right now. Bishop Hartley from Columbus, they lead Elyria Catholic right now in the first half, 21-7. Westlake leading Midview 14-7. Lorraine on top of Brush 13-6. Plymouth leads Oberlin 7-0. Solon in front of Olmsted Falls 7-0. Ridgeville all over North Olmsted right now 27-zip. Copley leading Amherst 12-7. And how about this? Good for Coach Bill DeFucci and his Vermilion Sailors. They are dominating Margaretta right now 19-0.
I will have the Vermilion Firelands game next Friday night.
All right. That's always a good one.
Yep. So Jackson's coming off the field. He's not coming off great. He's coming off by himself, but it's not. He's still cramped up. He's still real tight. He can't take that right leg and really straighten it out. So they're going to walk him off. And with 7:07 left to play in this first half, Fairview is trying to get on the scoreboard. Down 16-0. They've got the ball in the 15. It's a 1st and 10. Lowry will fake it right, roll left, little pass to the 5 to his fullback, and knocked out of bounds at around the 5-yard line is Vinny Rizzo. So Rizzo's the one that picked Cy Christensen and set up this touchdown opportunity. And he has taken his team down to, actually, they're going to mark Rizzo out at the 9. So it's a gain of only a couple. It's going to be 2nd and almost 6. Rizzo's in the backfield with his quarterback. Lowry's going to throw it. Rizzo trying to block, does not get a block, and Lowry's just going to throw the ball. He tried to throw the ball into a defender, and it was almost, they're going to say, an intentional grounding. He just threw it right into the shin pad, or the thigh pad, I should say, of a Clearview defender. There was nobody around.
I didn't think so. Unless he's trying to argue, he was trying to dump it off to Vinny Rizzo, who had been pushed back a little bit. He was the tailback on that play. Tried to throw a chip block in there, but I don't know.
If Vinny wasn't doing a good job at blocking that time.
Well, he had 2 guys to try to fend off.
Yeah, he was outnumbered. And that was one of those that you put clown music under.
I mean, but while the officials are talking, I mean, this Clearview defensive front right now, Longo, Augusto, Manny Moore, Xavier Ricks up there, Sanchez Miller, just having their way with that Fairview offensive front. And if you can't win the battle up there, if you're Fairview, if you can't even get a little bit of resistance against that, you're going to be in for a long 30-plus more minutes of this ball game.
Rocco, you're 100% right. It's the difference in the game. It really is, in this game in particular. And I think, just historically, if you talk to any football coach, they'll tell you these games are won right there in the trenches.
Sure. And there's the grounding call. Even with, teams like to spread it out, 4 or 5 receivers. Wow, loss of 25.
And a loss of down. So it's 3rd and 3 decades. Yeah. 3rd and 30 at the 34.
Coach Rance, man, he's having to bust out the entire playbook here in week 1 with these 3rd and longs. He's got to be thinking, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, he had a 4th and 33 from the 35 not long ago. He's looking at his O coordinator saying, I don't think we've got to play for this.
Help.
This is Lowry standing at the 39. Gets the snap out of the shotgun. There's pressure. Lots of pressure. Lowry's just going to throw it over the middle to nobody. He was getting run down. And run down by, guess who? Josiah Augusto.
Look at him bouncing around after making that play. I mean, just the energy right now. You can see it visually, the difference. Clearview, again, just kind of bouncing around. They got all the energy right now. They're flying all over the football field. And Fairview, they almost just look intimidated to put up a fight against them. If that offensive front, it's tough sledding right now for the Warriors.
Rocco, I don't know what Augusto ate pregame meal, but whatever it was, he should eat it for the rest of the football season. They're going to line him up. Fairview's going to go for it again, 4th and 30 from the 34. 4 wide receivers in the set. Lowry going to throw it as far as he can. Right sideline, jump ball, goal line pick. Picked by Clearview, and it is picked off by Isaiah Garcia. Garcia with it, across the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds in front of his teammates at the 31-yard line. You can hear the hometown crowd right in front of us, and they are happy.
Huge play right there for Clearview defensively. Just sucking Burke Lowry into throwing into double coverage. Nowhere else he could really go with the football if he was legitimately trying to pick up that first down. He's just hoping Savion Harris can make a play downfield, but credit that Clipper defense, man. Lights out here in this first half.
So that brings on the Clearview offense. And in the first quarter, that offense scored 2 touchdowns.
What a stand for Clearview, right? I mean, you almost have a pick 6.
Ball's on the 9.
You give up.
Right?
Ball gets to the 9, like you said, and all of a sudden you're the ones with the football after not allowing any points, and you're already across the 30. It's everything going right in this first half for Clearview. Well, not everything, but a lot of things in this first half going right for Clearview.
Speaking of running back options for Clearview, Josiah Longo now on the left hip of his quarterback, Cy Christensen.
He's capable.
Josiah will get the handoff. Up the middle, there's a slight hole. Josiah gets up to the 32, so he'll pick up 2 yards, maybe 3.
That's a good tackle there, I'll tell you what, by number 54 for Fairview. Well, I don't have a 54 on my Fairview roster, so that's a problem. That's Jack Fail. That's Jack Fail, I'm sorry.
Longo stays in, and Tilley will join him. They'll be on the right and left hip of their quarterback in the shotgun, Cy Christensen. Christensen checks his play sheet on his left forearm, and he's ready to go. Moves Antilli. He'll throw to Antilli. Right side in the flat. Antilli's open to the 35-40. Breaks the tackle near midfield, and he falls out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Boy, Tristan Antilli was one more balance check away from going all the way. And I just turned the lights out here at the press box.
I saw that happen, and I was like, I hope that wasn't Ron bouncing around.
I got so excited. I was dancing like my partner, Rocco Nushi, trying to. I cannot measure up.
Is it because I said Clearview's defense has been lights out? So did you take that a little too literally?
I turned the lights out.
Oh, my.
The whole press box. I'm as far right in the press box as you can be. So everyone to my left just looked at me like, what did you just do? Christensen gets the handoff to Antilli, and Tristan's going to pick up nothing. Going to get back to the line of scrimmage, straight up the middle. Let's talk about that offensive front for Clearview again. Let's mention those guys. Lockman at left tackle, Moore at left guard, Louder at center, Young at right guard, and Wacker at right tackle. If you are going to be an offensive lineman, the best possible last name you could have is Wacker, right?
I would say so.
I mean, you're just going up and whacking everybody.
Well, that's what he's doing so far tonight.
2nd and 10. Direct snap. Christensen's going to keep it. And that Fairview defense pretty tough right now. Cy's going to pick up maybe 2 yards to the 49. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, and if you're Fairview, I mean, again, the offense, they've struggled, haven't put up any points, a couple of costly turnovers. They're scuffling. So you just got to count on your defense while you can. And if you're this Warrior defense, you got to show some pride. You got to show some heart. You're still not out of this football game. You step up and get a stop here, it can certainly go a long way. And good chance here on 3rd and long.
Well, Devin Jackson's now back in the game. He was out with cramps. He's in a right slot spot. Christensen standing at his 44. It's 3rd and 7. Cy looks right, throws right. Little bubble screen out near midfield, and it's going to be picked up well by that Fairview defense. Pass went to Tyler Chapman, and Tyler got to midfield and no further.
And that was a great defensive look there by Fairview. They had 3 down linemen. They lined up 6 guys across the middle of the field right at the first down marker, pretty much saying, you can get here but no farther. And then they had 2 deep safeties, and they just ran up and made the tackle.
So it's 4th and 7 at midfield, and Clippers are going for it. Nope, Cy Christensen, little pooch pump. Christensen got the snap in the shotgun, pooched it down inside the 5, and it's going to be a touchback. Are they going to mark it at the 1?
I think so.
Now, going into the end zone was Devin Jackson. I mean, his back feet when he slipped were actually in the end zone when he stopped that football, but they're going to mark it at the 1.
So that's where my lack of rule knowledge comes into play, because I know in college that's a touchback, and
All right.
the pros, you're fine.
And in high school,
So
at least on Friday night at Tom Hoke Field, they're fine.
Here on August 23rd,
Yes.
2024.
In this moment,
Book it.
3:53 left in this opening half. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi, along with you from Tom Hoke Field. You know, in another life, Rocco, when I was a sports reporter in Cleveland, I used to come out to Clearview High School in the late 80s a lot because Tom Hoke and that football team were real good.
We got the whole history lesson up
Yeah.
here earlier during the pregame.
It wasn't this field. It was in this space, but, you know, this is a brand-new field, second full season here, but it was in this space. That Clearview defense looking for a touchback, and Fairview gets it just outside the goal line. I think, you know, Josiah Longo is signifying a touchback, but he wears a blue jersey of the Clearview Clippers, not the stripes of the referees.
I don't think they got the safety there. I'll tell you what, they are dang close.
Clock's winding, 3:40 and counting. Ball is at about the football length from the goal line. And Lowry's in the shotgun, and there's lots of movement on both offense and defensive lines. If it's a penalty on Fairview, I'm not sure. I mean, how long's a football? It's offsides on Clearview, so that's a breather for Fairview. Rocco, how long is a football from tip to tip?
Ooh, I don't know.
It's the question of the night.
That is the question of the night. Well,
If you know, and you know my cell phone number, text me the answer. Christensen fakes right, throws left, across the field, and it's in and out of the hands of Canfield at the 23-yard line. He had to go down and get it. It would have been a great catch by Pat, running full speed, ball at his ankles, almost came up with it, though. And that's going to bring the punt team out. Actually, no, it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah. What do we got? Another down Clipper in the end zone.
Another cramp.
Man.
It is a night of cramping for Clearview.
Isn't that something you can practice all summer long in the heat? Try to prepare for this, keep yourself hydrated, all in an effort to try to limit this in the first couple of weeks, and still, there's just no avoiding that cramp bug. When it hits, it hits.
Rocco, I have a test for you.
Uh-oh. He's never good at these.
Cramping Clearview Clippers. Say that fast 3 times in a row. Go ahead. Live on Stream 2 on AM 930. The whole press box is looking at you right now, Rocco.
See, now I can't. Oh, man.
Cramping Clearview Clippers.
You going to put that on a T-shirt?
We should get public address announcer Dan Forthover to say it quickly over the air. Boy, it's a night of Cramping Clearview Clippers.
I think he likes doing this. I don't know.
Standing in the press box, or actually sitting to our left, is Jerry Romas. Jerry running the scoreboard tonight. He started running the scoreboard in 1974. So this is his 50th year. In 74, he took over for his dad, who had done it the 20 years before. So there has been a Romas running scoreboard at Clearview High School for 7 decades in a row. 70 straight years. Jerry, a 1966 grad, played on that 64 team that was 10-0. I asked him if he was a defensive end and tight end because this is a big dude, put together well. He celebrates 76 years at the end of the month, and he goes, no, I wasn't that big in high school. I wish I was. So, Jerry, a couple of congratulations to you. Happy birthday on the 31st. He's 76. And just a few days ago, you and your wife celebrated 51 years of marriage. Yeah.
How about that?
The life of Jerry Romas.
Man.
It is good to be Jerry Romas right
telling
now.
me? You kidding me?
So straight leg, left leg this time for Clearview is Augusto, who has been outstanding. And the way it looks, I'm hoping it's a cramp. I mean, that's the best case scenario, that it's nothing more than a cramp.
He's struggling to put some
But
weight
he is,
on.
really struggling. He's, he's got a trainer and a teammate under his shoulder pads helping him off, and they're just going to pick him up.
Oh, man. I hate that at any point of the season, Ron, but especially here in week one when you're a kid, you got all this excitement to go out there. And for Augusto as a junior,
It's
tough.
3rd and 5. Fairview with the ball on their own 6. Here come the Clippers. That defensive line ready to come get Lowry. Lowry, quick release. Ball caught at the 12 and up to the 15-yard line. And it's going to be enough for a first down. That ball was caught by Will Allen. And that was a nice quick drop, quick release by Lowry to Allen. And they got everything they needed.
I'm shocked that's the first time we've called Will Allen's name tonight, Ron. He was one of those basketball players turned football players, and he had a great summer, at least from what I saw on social media.
Lowry to throw with pressure. Looking left, looking right, going to run up the middle, going to tuck it, keep it, and he's going to get up to the 17, maybe 18-yard line. Here's the thing. If you can't run the football, and Fairview has not been able to run the football, that defensive front and the linebackers for Clearview are just going to keep coming. They're just going to come right at you.
Just pin their ears back.
They're just, they're going to do it. Another pass. This one's complete. Out near the 30. Still with the football and running near the 40 is J.R. Beto. Beto almost out to midfield. He is on the far sideline. Beto gets it all the way into, just at the 50. They'll mark him out right in front of his teammates on that Fairview sideline.
Pick up a 32 on that play. That's one of their longest gains of the evening so far.
And Rocco, there's another player down for Clearview. And there's another player who's cramped up at midfield. And I think it's, once again, it's J.G. Hill. They're shouting for water.
Yeah.
Well, the water's not going to help right now. You've needed it long before this moment right now. But it can't hurt.
Start throwing back some Gatorade in the halftime locker room.
Why don't we take a break? 2:30 left in this opening half. Clearview's up 16-0. It has been all Clippers in this football game, week one on Friday night in Lorain County. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi along with you. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Lowry for Fairview. A quick pass towards that Warrior sideline. It's complete, and Fairview working quickly. They've got the ball on the 34. They didn't even move the chains in time. Lowry looking left, looking right, going to be flushed out of the pocket, lost the football. Ball's on the floor, ball's on the field, and I think the Clippers have recovered. They have.
Or do they?
You know what? The
They
officials have yet to signal.
They didn't signal anything.
Clearview's still waiting, still saying, and they now have officially signaled it's Clipper football. I think it was Cameron Williams that recovered it.
I think so.
Boy,
Yep.
you know what?
Yes, it was.
Lowry was running with that football just like Christensen was on his fumble.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no contact. He flat out just lost it on the grip.
And the problem is, I think, for Burke Lowry, look, he's been running for his life more often than not back there. So at a certain point, that just becomes a little mentally, physically taxing. You get a little carefree with the football, and that's what happens. Credit that Clearview defense. They've worn him down.
So it's 1st and 10 Clippers. They're at their own 37-yard line. Hand off to Antilli. Antilli with a large hole on the right side. And Tristan's going to get up to the 45-yard line. He'll pick up 8. Tristan running behind Zach Young and Brody Wacker. Young and Wacker both sophomores. The center's a junior. The left tackle and left guard are both juniors. We've talked at length already about the 18 seniors that Clearview graduated, with only 4 seniors on this year's roster. So those young guys going to get a lot of playing time. And tonight, at least, looking really good. 2nd and 2. This is Longo with a handoff. Longo breaks the tackle to 50. Longo to the 40, and he is tackled at the 40-yard line. Josiah Longo was a break of a tackle away from a very long touchdown run. They're going to mark him at the 41.
Man, only his 2nd carry of the night, and maybe that's because he plays so much defensively. You don't want to totally run him into the ground on offense, but is he electric when he gets the football
Well,
around?
Josiah's mother, Annalise, is 4 benches in front of us in the bleachers, and she was standing on top of the bleacher, ready to cheer her son on. She's screaming at him right now. Longo's still in the backfield. And the handoff to Antilli. Antilli tries the left side, and Tristan gets across the 40, and he's down to the 37-yard line of Fairview. 60 seconds left in this opening half. With all the passing by Fairview, this first half has taken forever to play.
It has. I keep looking down at my phone at that time and thinking, man, well, got to be in at least the 3rd quarter by now, right? Nope.
Clock stops on every incomplete pass, and there have been a lot of incomplete passes for the Warriors.
Yeah, we'll dive more into the stats once we get to the break. I'll have to tally those up during a timeout, but yeah, I know it's been tough sledding for Burke Lowry. They're at a number of instances here. Had a nice stretch of about 7 or 8 completions, rather, in a row, but that was broken apart last drive a little bit. So, yeah, tough sledding for Fairview offensively here tonight, Ron.
If you're interested in Lorain County, if you're interested in scores, Avon at halftime over St. Ignatius at Brown Stadium, 21-7. Wow. You know, the non-conference schedule Avon has put together.
Brutal.
St. Ignatius in week 1.
Yep.
Canton McKinley, I believe, in week 2. Glenville in week 3.
Yep. McKinley's already dropped them after this year. That was a 2-year and done.
So both teams back on the field, and there is now a minute 30
they added some time
on the clock.
A minute 3 is what they're trying to get it to.
And now it's a minute 3.
There we go.
2nd and 6, Clippers, ball at the 37-yard line. Christensen, low snap, picks it off his ankles. Going to throw deep, left side. Open. Oh, in and out of the hands at the 5-yard line. Christian Stevenson was, no, Isaiah Garcia was wide open. Oh, his head is hanging low right now. It's one of those things where you're so open, right?
Too open, you'd say.
It's like in basketball. You'd rather have a hand in your face defensively to hit the jump shot than a wide open look.
Who's that, J.R. Smith? I'd almost always rather have a contested crazy shot than something wide open. Maybe there's something to that.
Well, they're going to line up Garcia again wide left in front of his teammates on that Clearview sideline. They'll reset. 3rd and 6. And a flag before the play. Probably too much time. Nope, timeout.
Timeout, okay.
Clippers got one before the penalty flag was thrown. 57 seconds left. We'll take 1-2. It's 16-0 Clippers on Stream 2, AM 930 WEOL. Rocco always online. 3rd down and 6. Clippers with the football at the Fairview 37. It's Christensen in the shotgun. Antilli to his right. Antilli's going to block. Side's going to run right, and he's going to tuck it. He's going to run. He's going to get up to the 30, across the field, breaks a tackle at the 25, and then drops to his knee voluntarily at the 24-yard line. Honestly, I'm not sure why he went down.
Well, just avoid the big hit, maybe.
Maybe.
He fumbled once.
They have no timeouts left, but there was running room left to be had. It's 40 seconds and counting. 1st and 10, ball inside the 25. Cy looks right. Looks back left. He's going to run left. Still thinking about throwing. He does, and it's incomplete, out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Who's that coming back for it? I think that's...
Now, the Clippers do not have a kicker, so this will not be a field goal situation. This is all or nothing. I mean, they have a kicker. It's Manny Moore.
Well, they haven't sent him out for an extra point.
Yeah.
So I highly doubt he's trotting him out for a 40-plus yard field goal.
Exactly.
Seen crazier.
Directing traffic is Anthony Lockman on that offensive line, the left tackle. Everybody's in position.
Fairview secondary, you got to be rock solid here for 28 more seconds.
Christensen to throw, 2nd and 10, little dump pass. Antilli at the 20, Antilli to the 15, 10, running the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Savion Harris came across and knocked him out of bounds. They'll mark him out at almost the 9, I guess.
Yeah.
It stopped the clock, though. So 2 great things on that play. One, the positive yardage on the little dump pass to Antilli, and then second, Tristan couldn't score, but he ran out of bounds and stopped that clock. It's at 21 seconds left. Ball's on the 9. Christensen with a block from Antilli, rolling right, still looking. Near the 10, he's going to tuck it, run out of bounds just outside the 5. That play took only 6 seconds. It seemed in slow-mo, though.
Christensen over the century mark unofficially through the air. I got him for 106 passing yards here in this first half.
He had nearly 2,400 a year ago as a sophomore. Sy is in his 3rd year as the starting quarterback for Coach Mike Collier. Freshman, sophomore, and now a junior. Sy getting his teammates in position. Ready for the snap, he got it. Sy looking left, throws over the middle, pass complete, and walking in the end zone for a touchdown is Devin Jackson. That was easy. Ten seconds left in the first half, and the Clippers score their 3rd touchdown of the night.
It's a simple drag route there for Devin Jackson. Just came sprinting across that end zone line, and defensive backs, LaMarcus Clark, outside linebacker, actually trying to give chase for Fairview. Just a little too far behind, a little too much space there for Jackson, and guys in blue got it rolling here, up 22-zip.
So Christensen and his teammates will go for 2. He's got Antilli and Jackson and Longo as options. Jackson's in motion. Christensen's going to look right. There's a flag down. He's going to throw it to the end zone, and Longo's there. Josiah caught it for the 2-point conversion, but there is a flag on the play. And it's a motion penalty on Clearview. So that one's coming back. There is no one more disappointed right now in the Clearview stands than Josiah Longo's mother.
Yeah, one of the few miscues of this first half for Clearview.
So it's a 5-yard penalty. That'll bring the ball back to the 8. Clippers will try it again. $22-0. Clearview in complete command of this football game. 10 ticks left in this opening half. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi. On hand here at Tom Hoke Stadium. Snap to Christensen. Pressure from his right. He's going to look left. Thinking about running. Still thinking. And he's just going to dump it. And nobody's open. Devin Jackson was standing at the goal line, but he wasn't really open. And it's an incomplete pass.
Well, small bright spot, I suppose, for Fairview, but that's a backbreaker, that touchdown right there, Ron. I mean, if you can hold Clearview to no points there, you go into the locker room, you're still down 2 scores. Maybe you're feeling a little bit better about things, but yeah, down 3 scores, 22-0. Nothing really going right offensively.
Well, Rocco, Clearview's going to get the opening kickoff,
right.
too, to start the third quarter. I will say this. It has been a fun night watching these two junior quarterbacks play. I'm impressed by both of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They've been showing composure. I think if you're Burke Lowry, you're not doing a whole lot wrong. You're just running for your life right now.
You need a running game,
You
right?
need a running game to help out a little bit, and it's tough when you get 3 or 4 guys in your face. And, if you can't make anything past your first read, the defense is just going to sit on that. So
put anybody back there at quarterback. If that person does not have a running game, they are a sitting duck.
Yeah. And again, you need a little bit of protection too. I don't care. That could be Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady back there in his prime. Doesn't matter. If you don't have time to at least consider your options downfield, it's not going to go well.
There's a blue sky tinged in pink right now as we approach the sunset hour.
It's lovely.
It is absolutely beautiful. If you're outside, take a look up. If you're not, take a walk outside. The kickoff fielded by Fairview and run up to the 37-yard line.
That Dominic Rodriguez on the tackle, first time calling his name.
Danny Becker carried it. Dominic Rodriguez tackled him. 6 seconds left in this opening half. Clearview's going to take their 11, and they're going to put most of them deep. There's only one place to go if you're Fairview, and that place is 63 yards away. Do they have a 63-yard play in their playbook? They'll go with a handoff. And the handoff's going to pick up 10 and run out of bounds to end the first half. Both teams walk off the field here at Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. And if you look up at the scoreboard, it is a dominating game by the Clippers of Clearview. Dressed in blue, gold, and white tonight, they're up 22-0 at halftime. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi, along with you from Tom Hoke Field. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with first half stats, first half highlights, and all the analysis. Rocco Nushi, Bruce Van Dyke, back at the WEOL studios. Keeping us online tonight on Stream 2. The marching band, the Marching Warriors of Fairview High School on the field here at Tom Hoke Field. Your halftime entertainment facing the home stands of the Clearview Clippers. It is 22-0. The Clippers of Mike Collier in command in every facet of this football game after 2 quarters. The game started with a opening drive by Clearview, and they went right down the field after defensively stopping Fairview. Clearview on their opening drive went right down the football field behind that great offensive line, guys like Wacker and Young, Lauder, Moore, and Lockman. Their talented junior quarterback, Cy Christensen. And then they've got a running back that's not bad either. His name's Tristan Antilli, and this was their first score. Snap, he'll hand it off. Antilli right up the middle, and Antilli's in the touchdown. So Tristan Antilli went in from 6 yards out, and with 8 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the first quarter, the Clippers added a 2-point conversion. J.G. Hill scored on it, and that led Clearview to an opening 8-0 lead. About 5 minutes later, with 3:35 left to play in that first quarter, it was a run again for the Clippers behind that very talented offensive line that goes sophomore, junior, junior, junior. And this time it wasn't Antilli, but it was J.G. Hill. Christensen will give it to Hill. Hill's going to run left, and he's going to run into the end zone. That is a touchdown by J.G. Hill. So Hill scores. Christensen, the quarterback, had the 2-point conversion. And with 3:35 left to play in the first quarter, it was Clearview 16, Fairview nothing. That defense by Clearview was pitching that shutout of the Warriors' offense. We go into the second quarter, and that second quarter defensively by Fairview was pretty good, wasn't it, Rocco?
Yeah, I mean, one of the few bright spots that they had in this first half. The folks in red and black over on that far sideline didn't have a whole lot to cheer about, but I think that defensive effort that they got most of the time in that first half that they could be proud of.
But it was defense by Clearview that kept Fairview out of the end zone. And I think we've got the interception coming up next.
That's what I heard,
Let's
yeah.
go to Bruce Van Dyke for that. Lowry going to throw it as far as he can. Right sideline, jump ball, goal line pick. Picked by Clearview. And it is picked off by Isaiah Garcia. Garcia with it, across the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds in front of his teammates at the 31-yard line. Rocco, that Clearview defense, we've talked a lot about the Fairview offense, or the Clearview offense, and rightfully so, but that defense has done a real nice job tonight against a very talented quarterback for the Warriors in Brooke Lowry.
Well, and how about number 4 in blue, Josiah Augusto, someone that wasn't even on the 2-deep that we got from Coach Collier, and yet we probably called his name in that first half more than anybody on that defensive side of the ball for Clearview. I mean, every play looks like he's just shot out of a cannon, coming through seemingly untouched and giving Burke Lowry more than he can handle in that offensive backfield for Fairview.
One highlight left in that first half of play, and this one came nearly at the very end of the first half. There were 10 seconds left. Clearview had the football on the Fairview 6-yard line, and this time it was another touchdown, but not a running touchdown. Here's the call. Sy getting his teammates in position. Ready for the snap, he got it. Sy looking left, throws over the middle, pass complete, and walking in the end zone for a touchdown is Devin Jackson. So Jackson's touchdown, the third Clearview touchdown of the night, made it 22-0. The 2-point conversion failed, so the score stands as we stand at halftime. It's Clearview 22, Fairview 0. The Warrior Marching Band on the field right now, and Rocco, before we go to break and come back with stats from you, your thoughts on this first half?
Well, it's just kind of as simple as we've been explaining it, Ron. Not a whole lot to it outside of Fairview's offense has scuffled, in large part due to the defensive front of Clearview. And, one of our favorite Lorain County League coaches, Scott O'Donnell, every pregame interview I've done with him, he reminds me the war is won and lost up front. You can have whoever you want at the skill position. You can have whoever you want at quarterback. If you can't handle your own and at least look respectable up front on either side of the ball, you're going to be in for a long night. And right now, Fairview's finding that out the hard way.
Yeah,
I mentioned
been a long night.
Called it a number of times. And again, if you're Burke Lowry, you almost have to be a little bit upset at the effort that you're getting from the big guys in front of you. You got to take a little bit of pride if you're those guys up front right now for Fairview. And I think that has to be a lot of the conversation in that locker room. On the other side of the coin for Clearview, a couple of mistakes, right? The Christensen fumble, he had the interception that almost led to Fairview points. The defense stood strong, though. So just some tidying up, some cleaning up to do for Clearview. That's to be expected, though, right? Right, though, Ron?
It's week one.
And you go from 18 seniors to 4, as we've talked about a couple of times here on the broadcast. So some growing pains are to be expected. You don't love to see it from your third-year starting quarterback at that same time, but he's learning some new guys too. So, yeah, some adjustments being made on both sides here in week one. And, oh, by the way, let's hope the cramping can be a little bit more limited here in half number 2. And not just for, delay of game purposes, but just for kids' health and safety and whatnot. Hopefully they're getting nice and hydrated there in the locker room.
Rocco, that certainly was a storyline in that opening half. So the Fairview Marching Band has left the field. They were outstanding.
Again, our score here at the half, Clearview at home leading Fairview 22-0. Let's dive into some of those first half numbers. First, for the Fairview Warriors, and Ron, like we talked about, just a non-existent running game right now for those Warriors.
What is it statistically?
20 yards on 8 attempts.
Actually, is the 20 yards all the quarterback running?
So I didn't deduce. I don't know if it's the whole sack thing, because it would probably be in the negatives. So I didn't tally that, but I did get just the normal negative rushing yards, and the 8 carries, 20 yards in total. That does include Burke's couple of scrambles. So tough sledding offensively right now on the ground for Fairview. Through the air, Mr. Lowry under center. He's 15 of 20 for 158 yards in that first half. On the receiving end of things, J.R. Beto leads the way. He caught 3 balls for 70 total yards. Pat Canfield caught it twice for 24 yards. Juju Clark has a trio of receptions for 22 yards. Savion Harris, 2 catches, 13 yards. Mason Woodworth, a pair of catches for 12 12 yards. Vinny Rizzo also has 2 catches for 8 yards. And Will Allen, my surprising stat of that first half, Ron, is Will Allen. Just the one catch for 9 yards. Yeah. And again, he's one of those basketball players, came out to play football this year, and I saw a number of highlights on Twitter or X or whatever the heck they're calling it these days, where he was making just ridiculous plays down the field. Him and Burke Lowry had some great chemistry going this summer. I'm a little shocked to see him not as involved in the offense. Credit Clearview defensively, maybe taking him away, but would like to see him get a little more involved here in half number 2. And there are the numbers for Fairview. On the other side for Clearview, a much better output on the ground offensively. They've got 87 total rushing yards to their name in that first half. Tristan Yentilli, he's got the most, 8 carries, 32 yards for that young man. Cy Christensen, he's carried it 4 times to the tune of 26 yards. Josiah Longo, a pair of carries for 17 yards. Cam Williams has carried it twice for 7. J.G. Hill, the 1 rush and 1 touchdown. Yentilli also with a touchdown in there.
So 5 Clippers carried the football
Yes,
in the first half. And, we had mentioned earlier in that first half that, graduating was Ethan Lorenzano, who had over 1,000 yards rushing last year. He was their main back. And this year it will be that collection, I think, all season long.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more of Hill than anybody else as it goes on, but I think that at least that's what Coach Collier thinks, that he thinks Hill will probably get more carries than anybody else. But tonight it's certainly, spread out over 5 guys.
Well, and I think maybe these first 3 weeks of the non-conference, you're getting a feel for who exactly you want to kind of, handle those carries toward, who you want to take maybe a couple away from. So, so far, so good.
And just to bring back the point, in case anybody didn't hear us earlier talking about this Clearview rushing game, last year they had over 1,800 yards rushing, 1,828. They lost 1,703 yards of those rushing yards to graduation. So they are starting, from square one.
And my math isn't great, but that's a hefty percentage.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say
a lot.
Right there. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot. That is the official percentage there. Through the air for Clearview, Cy Christensen, he's 10 of 14 in that first half, 112 yards for him, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Devin Jackson had the 1 touchdown catch. He caught it 5 times for 65 yards. Tristan Yentilli, he caught it twice for 30 yards. 1 catch for Tyler Chapman, 1 catch for J.G. Hill for 6 yards. And 1 catch for Isaiah Garcia. He had 8 yards in that first half. So there are the numbers for both sides. And if you would give me a quick second to bring up my scoring app.
Our sponsors tonight and always, we thank them. So we're ready to start this third quarter. Fairview has teed it up. The kickoff is a little squib kick at midfield, and it's fielded nicely by the steady and sure hands of Tyler Chapman.
Surprise onside there from Fairview to start half number 2. How about that, Ron? That almost worked out.
It almost, but Chapman picked that up like he was an all-star shortstop.
He did. That was great hands. It's a nerve-wracking position to be in, too, because there's nobody helping you out there. It's either you're getting it or they are.
They kicked it to the wrong guy. I mean, made it look easy.
Yeah, you can see the kicker was a little disappointed. It was a good pooch, but it's the wrong guy.
Clippers on offense first. They're at 49, the 49-yard line of Clearview. The handoff will go to Yentilli, and Tristan breaks the tackle at midfield and falls forward to about the 48.5-yard line. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. Yentilli in the opening quarter scored the first touchdown for Clearview tonight. He went 6 yards in just under 4 minutes to play in that first quarter. He scored the first touchdown of the night. There have been 3 touchdowns and 2 extra 2-point conversions. 2nd and 8. Ball's at the 49 of Fairview. Christensen, the quarterback, looks left. Little floater. Left side. Complete. And catching it and running near the Clearview sideline. Run out of bounds is Isaiah Garcia. Garcia's inside the 40 for the Clippers. But I think there's a flag on the play. And there is. And it's a hold on Clearview.
That's why you take your stats in pencil there, Ron.
The hold came as the play was developing near the sideline of the Clippers. It was just a quick little dump to Garcia, and Isaiah turned it into a run for positive yards, but it's going to come back.
Not too much laundry on the field tonight. A couple of flags here and there, but overall, on that front, fairly clean game here in week one. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing that's happened on the field, besides the every play is the cramping.
Cramps, yeah.
Of specifically Clearview. I mean, Fairview has not had a player cramp.
Right.
Clearview has had at least a half dozen, and there's another.
Well, that's what I get.
Just as you said.
That's what I get.
The back-to-back penalty flag, this one thrown on Clearview again for an illegal shift.
Why do I even open my mouth sometimes? It's because that's what I get paid to do, apparently.
Rocco, anything else you'd like to prognosticate on at this moment?
It's been a while since $1 million have just fallen into my lap. It's been forever. I'll tell you what, Ron.
So it's second and long. It's like second and 22 yards, I think. Christensen to throw. Here comes the pressure. Christensen, little pass over the middle on a crossing route. Caught and run out of bounds at the 43-yard line is Clearview's Devin Jackson. And it's 3rd and 17. Dan Forthover, the public address announcer here at Clearview High School. Clipper grad, 2004. His brother, a 2007 grad, Tim, running the camera. Dan, a teammate of mine at Lorain County Community College. Christensen to throw, 3rd and long. Christensen's going to step up. He's going to run. Near midfield, run out of bounds at the 46-yard line of Fairview. He needed to get to the 41. They'll mark him at the 47, so he's 6 yards short. Got to believe he's going to go for it.
I would think so.
Now, the last time they were in this situation, Christensen lined up in the shot, as he has all night long, and he pooch punched it out of the shotgun. He's looking at his wristband where the plays are living. Calls it out to his teammates, no huddle. Both hands cupping his mouth as he shouts out instructions. And Tilly, the lone back in the backfield. Clearview needs to get to the 41. Long snap count. Christensen looking to the sideline. And the play clock runs out.
Yeah.
They almost got Fairview to jump.
Yeah.
There was a flinch there from those guys in white up front, but
so they'll back them up 5 and they'll punt it.
Yeah, you'll see the pooch punt here. It's the regular punt.
and why not? Your defense has been lights out, apparently literally up here in the press box.
Couple of times. Sy will take the snap. He'll punt it. Angles it away from the Fairview returner. And it's a good punt. It will be downed at the 13-yard line. 10:40 left to play in this third quarter. Opening drive of the third quarter stalls for the Clearview Clippers. So if you're Fairview down 3 touchdowns, the goal of this opening drive is obvious, isn't it, Rocco?
It is. I mean, you got to get things moving down the field, and
You got to get yourself out of these third and long situations. And I know it's not as easy as telling Burke Lowry, hey, don't take a sack, just throw it away, because that kid's been under just immense pressure this entire evening. So that's way easier said than done, just in terms of trying to get the ball out of the backfield and either out of bounds or downfield to a receiver. But, yeah, got to find a way.
Rocco, you mentioned it at halftime, and it's so true. They've got to get some positive yards running the football, and they'll hand it off. And they'll get a couple, but not much more than that. Brady Weir took it right side, and they'll give him a 1-yard gain.
So that's his 4th touch of the night, Ron, unofficially.
0 yards.
Weir, a senior, 5'10", 170. He's on the right hip of his quarterback, the junior Lowry. Burke to pass, looks left, throws it left, and it's incomplete. Try to get it quick out to J.R. Beto. Beto, when he's had the football tonight, he has been something to watch.
Well, that's what I've been screaming for up here this whole night. I mean, if you're a Fairview fan, why not just, quick out routes, get it to J.R. Beto, Savion Harris, Will Allen. Any one of those guys can make things happen if they get the football. Problem is they're having a tough time just getting it to them.
We're in Juju Clark in the backfield. Juju's lined up in a slot on the left. Burke will throw, and Burke Lowry is complete. Hear that Fairview sideline, and it's up near the first down marker.
See?
And it's a pass to Beto, and it will be a first down. Beto gets it up to the 27-yard line, and the chains will move.
J.R. Beto up over 80 receiving yards now. He's certainly been the playmaker for Fairview. See if they get him even more involved here.
Week 1, high school football in Lorain County. Pass, right side, complete, but not much yards gained after the catch by Pat Canfield. Line of scrimmage was at the 27, and Canfield maybe gets to the 28.
You know, there's some size on the defensive front for Clearview, but what was evident in that play right there, Ron, the speed that these Clippers have on the defensive side of the ball, that's been on display often tonight.
And one of them plays on the end, and that's Josiah Longo. Yeah. Coach Collier was telling me about the work that Josiah put in the offseason in the weight room, and now it's paying off in summer practice. Second and long. Fairview again goes to their own sideline, and again for what is looking like another first down. It was a complete pass of 8, and up near the 38 are the Warriors, and they'll mark it down as a first down.
I think that was J.R. Beto again, was it not, making things happen?
That far sideline, farthest from us, it gets kind of lost in the darkness.
Yep. What do we got here? Nothing. Okay.
Ball's at the 37. Inside 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Handoff again, and up to the 40-yard line on a carry by Juju Clark. Juju went up the middle, got 3. 22-0, Clearview over Fairview.
Longest run from a non-quarterback Warrior tonight is 3. Ron Burke Lowry had 1 carry for 13 yards. That's the longest run they've had. But any of their tailbacks, the longest they've ripped one off for is 3.
That one right there. And a whistle.
Yeah, that's what you can't have. Well,
and it's off sides, I think, on Clearview.
Can't have that either if you're Clearview, but I thought, especially if you're Fairview, man, you got something moving here. You cannot afford to go backwards, and fortunately for them, that goes against the guys in blue.
Yeah, 2nd and 7 turns into 2nd and 2. This may be, Rocco, the very first time in the game tonight that Fairview has had a 2nd and short situation.
Yeah, it's been a lot of long-distance downs, no question.
Christensen's going to throw it. Actually, it's Lowry that's going to throw it, and it's complete over the 50 down to the 44 of Clearview. Pass was complete to, guess who? J.R. Beto.
Yep.
I mean, keep throwing it to Beto.
Yeah, he's up over 100 receiving yards now. Got him at 104 unofficially.
Yeah, Beto and Lowry could turn into a very, very good tandem as this season goes on.
Well, like I've said, they certainly are on the basketball court, and that's kind of where a lot of these kids came from for Fairview this year.
Oh, Lowry fumbling the snap. He's in trouble. There's pressure, and Lowry's going to go down. There were a whole bunch of Clearview Clippers back there. And he's down inside his own territory, back to the 46-yard line.
Manny Moore, one of the first to greet him. Good to see Manny Moore playing like he is. I know he went down early in the game with some cramping or maybe just had the wind knocked out of him, something, but he's out there looking as spry as ever.
That's a loss of 9. And it's 2nd and 19, and that was just a mishandle on the snap. That's happened a couple of times tonight for both teams. But, again, it is week 1. Lowry looking right, throwing right sideline, and that is incomplete. It was wide of his intended receiver, Savion Harris.
And you can see Burke Lowry, I don't want to say he's got happy feet, but he just does not look comfortable in that pocket at any point, Ron.
Well, Rocco Moore's coming off again, cramping. I mean, he barely made it to the sideline. Manny Moore, their defensive tackle.
Well, something to try to work on.
More
week,
water
I guess.
during the
I don't
week.
know how. Yeah, I don't know how you work on that necessarily.
You just drink water.
Yeah. These commercials aren't lying.
3rd and long, pump fake, pressure, sack. Lowry's down. Getting to him quickly, Tristan and Tilly. And Tilly sacks Lowry at the Fairview 42-yard line.
And Ron, they're only bringing like 4 guys. I mean, they're getting there without having to bring the house. I mean, they're able to cover everything downfield. You saw Burke there trying to go through his reads. And, that 4-2-5 defense, there's just nothing there. Those front 4, they get after you. And everybody else behind just sticks in coverage. And, boy, again, just dynamite here tonight, that Clearview defense.
So it will be a punt for the Warriors. It's 4th and 23. They've got the ball on their own 42. And J.G. Hill is back in coverage. And there's a flag on the field. It is a delay of game flag on Fairview. So it's Hill and Chapman back for the Clippers. We're going to back the Warriors up 5 more. A third quarter that was advancing at a rapid pace has grinded to a halt right now with 6:21 left. It's been a long football game.
It has.
Snap back. Punt is off. It's Chapman set to return it from the 31. Chapman is in trouble right away, and Chapman's going to get to the 33, maybe 32, and not much more. Let's take a quick timeout, a quick 30-second timeout. Let's try to get it in. We'll be back on AM 930, Stream 2.
Lorain County Community College's graduates are the first choice of local employers. From healthcare to manufacturing to technology, companies turn to LCCC to find the talent they need. Graduates land jobs they love. Our economy grows. Our region thrives. You can turn to LCCC. We will prepare you for the jobs of the future. Lorain County Community College. Always here, always ready. Enroll today.
The WEOL Gridiron Clash. On air, online, and on the mobile app.
Perfectly timed by Bruce Van Dyke. Clippers with a handoff. Runner in motion and out on the races. Breaking tackles, crossing midfield, and down inside the 40-yard line is J.G. Hill. Hill came from that slot in motion, took the handoff from Christensen out of the shotgun, and turned it into a big Clipper run.
Yeah, I think a pickup of about 28, maybe 30 yards there for J.G. Hill. Longest run of the night for the Clippers. And, boy, when things are clicking, they're clicking. You can just start running downhill. The big guys up front, they're getting that extra push. They're feeling good about themselves. And Fairview just back on their heels right now.
So it's 1st and 10 Clearview on the Fairview 40-yard line. It's 22-0 Clippers over the Warriors. 5:45 and counting left to play in the third quarter. Christensen will hand it off to Intilli. And Tristan's inside the 35. He takes the football down straight up the middle to the 34. Tristan Intilli running behind that Clearview line of Brody Wacker, Zach Young, Trenton Lauder, Manny Moore, and Anthony Lockman.
I'll tell you what, Coach Collier, he was very high on that left side of the line, Lockman and Moore. That right side, though, Wacker, along with Zach Young, they've more than held their own tonight. That big run by J.G. Hill, that went off right side. So playing well all around up front for Clearview.
They are set, and Christensen gets the snap. It's Intilli again, this time left side. And actually, that was Longo, Josiah Longo that got it. Longo ran right into a linebacker, and he was brought down at the 33-yard line.
Vinny Rizzo on the stop for Fairview. He's made a couple of nice plays tonight. Came up to put that run to a stop.
That's another one of those names, you know, like I was talking about Wacker earlier. Vinny Rizzo. It's a great name, right?
Good Italian name there. Know any Italian guys, Ron?
I know a couple. Might be one sitting in the press box.
No. Rocco Nucci.
I mean, if you're named Rocco,
it's as Irish as
and
it gets,
your last name ends in a vowel. Christensen to throw with pressure. He's in trouble. He's just going to throw it out of bounds. He threw it to a coach on the Clearview sideline. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, did the coach catch it?
He did, actually. He caught it with headsets on.
That's good hands. He's allowed to yell at the receivers at practice, though.
You know, I'm looking. That might have been Mike Collier that caught it.
Was that Mike? Kidding me?
He's got that fresh haircut from his wife. He told me that I complimented him on how young he looked, and he said, My wife cuts my hair every 2 weeks. I might have to have her cut it every week now.
He was flattered.
Yeah. 4th and 3 from the 33. Christensen and the Clippers will go for it. Pressure. Si's in trouble. Si's going to float it. Coming back for it. Catching it. Is it a catch? They haven't determined. Is it a catch? I ask again. Isaiah Garcia thought he had it, and they're going to say it's incomplete.
Okay.
Wow. Christensen just floated it up there. He was thrown across his body. He was in duress with 3 or 4 Warriors on his heels, and Garcia almost made a great catch.
Ron, I'm not Mr. Pick-on official because God bless those guys. They're doing a real tough job for probably not enough money, and they're getting screamed at from everybody and their grandma on the sidelines.
But
we need some signals out here,
Oh,
Ron.
okay.
We need some signals. Is it complete? Whose ball is it? Like,
we need
a
to
couple
know.
times tonight.
Yeah.
Got to know.
Yeah. You're not debating whether or not they made the right call. You
No,
just want them to
no.
make a call.
They're doing a great job on
Gotcha.
that front. I
Yeah.
think I haven't heartily disagreed with anything they've done. Yeah, it's gotta
You
know
know,
whose ball it
oftentimes,
is.
and you've worked many games with Jared Kozar, Jared knows every official in Lorain County.
Oh, that's the understatement of the century
Yes.
right there, my friend.
By name, knows them on the field, regardless of sport.
And you know what? He can give you a full scouting report on all of them, too. For basketball, he calls it tight. Oh, he lets a lot go. Oh, he's going to let the travels go tonight. I mean, he gets the whole he's a whole baseball card of information, except for officials. It's unbelievable.
Jared's at Brown Stadium tonight, right?
He is. He's up there with Rob. I think Tom Evans is up there. Gary Pelter up there doing sideline duties. So
Last report we had, Avon was up 24-7. Was
28-14 in the third was the last score I saw, and that still holds true as this refreshes. 34-14.
34-14.
Another touchdown for the Fighting Mike Elders. How about that?
In the meantime, I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on. Handoff, and absolutely nowhere goes the running game of the Fairview Warriors. That was Alex Cusitt.
Yeah.
And he lost 3 yards. There is very little blocking going on that offensive line.
There's no push.
Lowry's going to roll and throw. Actually, it's not Lowry
That's
anymore.
The backup. That's picked.
A direct snap to Jalen Orales, and he rolled to his left and threw it, and Clearview picked it. And we got a Clipper down. It might be Isaiah Garcia again, and if it is, I think this is the third time he's been down with cramps.
He was the one to make the pick, was he not?
Yeah.
Mike Collier again going to get his steps in, walking across that field.
He's encouraging the crowd. He's encouraging the crowd to cheer him on.
I think he's all right.
As he comes off the field.
Why not? You know, you make a huge play. You're up 22-0 here on opening night at home.
I think Saturday morning film session is probably going to be, catered with as much water as possible.
Yeah, I would assume so. Some electrolytes will be abundant in that room.
I just wonder if there is anything in those Gatorade buckets down there.
That's Michael's secret stuff from Space Jam. That's what's in there. Come on.
1st and 10. Clippers with the football. Near midfield. And in a whole bunch of trouble is J.G. Hill. Hill was in the slot, in motion, got the pitch from Christensen. And J.G.'s going to lose 2 yards. But mark the ball at the 48.
I give Fairview's defensive front a lot of credit. I mean, they've held their own at times there. It's just the offensive line for Fairview, man, just haven't been able to put up much of a fight against that front set for Clearview.
It is 22-0 Clearview. They scored all 22 points in the opening half. Scored 16 in the first quarter. and then scored a touchdown to make it 22-0 just 10 seconds before the halftime ended, or the first half ended. This is Christensen to throw, setting up a screen until he's got it. He's got it at the 50 with a little bit of room, and Tristan's down inside the 40, breaks a tackle at the 35, and finally run out of bounds by Canfield near the 30-yard line. They'll mark him at the 30.
Wow.
Got 21 yards, and Tilly on the little screen.
Do we have another?
Yeah, another player down. This
You
time
are
it's
kidding
Fairview.
me.
This is the first time we've had a Fairview player down. I think it's a Fairview player. They motion to the Fairview sideline. We cannot see it. It's right in the middle of the Clearview sideline, right in front of us. And all the players are blocking our view. I don't know. Maybe it's a Clearview player because there's nobody from Fairview coming across the field.
Yeah. I can't tell.
They're stretching legs again.
That's
I don't
Yeah,
mean to make light of it,
that's a
but
Clipper.
it certainly is. Yeah, it's a Clipper. And it's in Tilly.
It is in Tilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
But-
very involved tonight.
Rocco, your stat sheet should include all the
Oh, the cramps.
cramps
Yeah.
tonight. How many times has a Clearview Clipper been cramped?
Get a new stat sheet. I mean, there's not much, other than just, like you've kind of half joked about, just chug a bunch of water. There's really not a whole lot you can do about that. That's just nature of early season high school football.
1st and 10 from the 30, 2:36 left to play in the third quarter. We're now approaching midnight. No, that's not true. Feels like it.
Yeah.
Handoff for the Clippers. They try the right side, and it's positive yards for Cam Williams. Cameron gets up to the 22-yard line.
His first carry of the second half, and I'm thinking Coach Collier might start to rotate those tailbacks a little bit to try to avoid some more cramping. And what do we got here? Officials timeout.
Of course. Let's slow this thing down a little bit more. Am I sounding old and grumpy right now,
Yeah.
Rocco?
What's that Simpsons meme? Old man yells at cloud. That's you right now.
All right, we're out of that officials timeout. It's 2nd and 2, balls at the 22. And Longo, the lone back in the backfield. Josiah will get it. Try the middle, look left, and go nowhere. He's going to lose a yard. Back to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, those guys up front for Fairview, man, I give them a lot of credit. They're fighting here to the end. Danny O'Neill, Ernie Alcaro, Danny Larkin all up there. Linebackers as well. Woodworth, Weir, Rizzo, Clark all getting in there.
Third and 3. Ball at the 23. Hill and Jackson and Jones split out to the right. Longo gets the handoff, pushes the pile in the middle. Josiah needed to get to the 20, and he's going to get to about the 21 and a half. So that'll set up a 4th down.
Yeah, that's a good stop there for Fairview. Grayson Hewitt into the game.
Getting a nice push there on the outside. Came around to help out on the stop.
Longo will remain the lone back in the backfield with Christensen in the shotgun. It's 4th and a long 1. Sai's going to keep it. Fake to Longo. Sai left side. Sai needs a block at the 10. Got it to the 5. Cuts back, and he stepped out of bounds on the cut. And they'll mark him down at the 4-yard line. Boy, that was an exciting run by the quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like a college play right there. The old read option. You fake the
Yeah.
give to the tailback. You get everybody in white just about to bite on it. And boy, Christensen just wheeled it up the left sideline. Could have scored, but stepped right out of bounds near that 5-yard line.
Clippers with the ball inside the 5. It's 1st and goal. Longo in the backfield with Christensen. Sai will hand it off. Josiah right side. He's got an opening. Josiah bangs a body, and he powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Josiah Longo.
Oh, man, poor Danny Becker for Fairview. He got a Longo shoulder plunged right into his chest, and down he went.
Danny Becker, the senior for Fairview, just no match for big bad Josiah Longo. Just pile drived him into the turf and motored his way in for another 6.
Boy, he really did. I talked about what Coach Collier said about Josiah in the offseason, how he owned the weight room. He gained nearly 20 pounds. Just
saw it right there.
Powerlifting. You saw it there. Fumbled snap again. Christensen is not going to get in this time. Last time he fumbled it, he still got in on the 2-point conversion. This time he did not. He will fall short. And it's 28-0. Clearview commanding lead. 41 seconds left, third quarter. Ron Yance, Rocco Nushi. 8-0 Clearview with the lead over the Warriors of Fairview High School. We're at Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. It's week 1. Clippers were 10-3 a year ago, 6-1 in the LC8, tied for the top with the Columbia Raiders. Columbia won the outright title because they had knocked off Clearview in the regular season. They beat the Clippers at Columbia by a touchdown in early October. Clearview graduated 18 seniors and a whole lot of starters, but they have not missed a step tonight. Kickoff, Canfield returns for Fairview, and Dan is up to the 38-yard line of the Warriors. So it's kind of hard to know, Rocco. Is Clearview, are they going to be this good again, or is Fairview just this bad?
I think
somewhere in the middle.
There are legitimate signs here for Clearview, certainly. And you factor in that half their roster's cramped at a certain point here tonight. I think there are legitimate weapons on this Clearview team, and I really don't think Fairview is quote unquote bad as maybe they looked or have looked at certain points here tonight. Just too many self-inflicted wounds. You got to clean up the offensive line play, and that's really where it all starts.
So Burke Lowry back at quarterback. 36 ticks left in this third quarter, and there's a whistle. And a flag, and it's a motion penalty on the Warriors.
It'll be an interesting Lorain County League this year, Ron. I think it's
wide open.
Maybe as wide open, as it's maybe ever been.
1st and 15. Lowry to throw, complete inside the 40, left flat, broken tackle up to the 45, still fighting near the first down marker. Flag down.
No, it's fumble.
Oh,
wow.
the marker that came out was to mark where the ball was recovered.
Yep, that's exactly what that was.
So Garcia came out celebrating, but the fumble recovery, I think, was by Cameron Williams.
We got a down Warrior on that far sideline.
Well, that was a positive play.
It's 12 yards.
It was one of those, you keep fighting, and then maybe you fought one time
push
too
many.
Hard.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they popped the football.
Yep. You love the effort if you're Sean Rance and the Fairview coaching staff, but can't afford a turnover at this juncture. Sean
Rance in his 5th year leading this Fairview football program. They won just one game a year ago. And they're heading into the Chagrin Valley Conference this year against teams like, Kirtland.
They'll see Kirtland. Kirtland's on the schedule.
Yeah.
He knows they're coming.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Some of those bus rides, too, man.
Well, the conference is this. Berkshire, Cardinal, Chagrin Falls, Crestwood, Kirtland, and Fairview.
It just...
Rocco, we talked about this with Rob and Jared.
At the Tom Evans annual cookout.
At the cookout. And I don't think anybody gave me an answer that I was satisfied with.
They didn't. You were very adamant about asking that
I'm
question.
Like, what is going on with constant conference realignment? Now, years ago, when the football playoffs were just 8 teams, the reason for conference realignment was you needed, if you were a team that was in a weak conference, you needed to put yourself in a stronger conference to get points.
Yeah.
Well, now the playoffs are wide open. Teams that are 1-9 get in. So that, that is no longer needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, conference realignment doesn't have to happen because of the football program.
Right.
No longer. And you've got Fairview playing in the Chagrin Valley Conference with Kirtland and Chagrin Falls and Burton, Berkshire. Anyways.
No, it's a legitimate gripe.
In the middle of my gripe, Cy Christensen ran it for 1 yard. And that will wrap up the third quarter. It is a 28-0 commanding lead by the Clippers of Clearview High School as we head to the fourth and final quarter. 12 minutes of football left on the opening of Friday night from Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. Ranyans Racco to football left from Tom Hoke Field. Clippers well on their way to their first victory in their first game of this 2024 football season. Clearview with the football. They're at the Fairview 46-yard line. It's 2nd and 9. Christensen gets the snap. He'll hand it off, and Tilly will take it. Tristan lost the football. It was actually stolen from him at the 40-yard line. It was just flat out ripped out of his gut by LaMarcus Clark. Tristan just wasn't holding on. We've seen 3 fumbles tonight, 2 of them by quarterbacks that they just lost the grip on, and then that one, they just stole it.
That's impressive.
Taking a chocolate chip cookie.
That is a clean strip by sophomore LaMarcus Clark of the Fairview Warriors. And, again, on a night where not a whole lot has gone your way, there hasn't been a whole lot to cheer for on that far sideline. It's a pretty dang impressive play right there.
That was, you know what? That's a good mark of Coach Rance keeping this team playing, right?
Absolutely.
They're down 28-0. It has been a long night, but he has got these guys still playing.
And we go through the cliches, right? Culture. You got to build that culture. That's a culture play right there.
Sure.
You're down 4 scores. Who cares? Go get that football. Get it back for our offense. That's what LaMarcus Clark did there. Impressive stuff.
So Fairview has it, and they've got it on the Clearview 43-yard line. In motion and getting the pitch for Fairview is Pat Canfield, and Canfield's going to run right, and Pat's going to pick up just a couple. Gets it near the 43-yard line.
Just the speed difference between Fairview's offensive line and Clearview's defensive front. And I mean, I think there's a pretty good strength difference in there, too, with what we've seen tonight. But the speed difference, I mean, there hasn't been anything inside for Fairview, so they say, okay, let's go outside. There's still nothing there. They are flying to the football.
So they'll give them no gain, actually. So it's 2nd and 10. Lowry with a pump fake. In trouble. Rolls right, throws it. Just gets it before he gets sacked, and it's complete at the 39-yard line. Out of bounds after the catch was Will Allen, Rocco's favorite player.
Well, I've just been seeing if he could get more involved in the game, and what do we got here?
Another cramp.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, I am not.
It's Josiah Augusto. And
he's had his share of cramps tonight.
Seems all right. He's jogging off.
Now he's coming out. It's got to be a record.
Yeah.
It's not like I've done thousands of football games, but I've never done one like this.
Oh, man. Hey, it's the nature of early season high school football. You do what you can over the summer, get your kids prepped. You're still going to get these cramps here in week 1, although this is a bit high from what we've normally seen.
My partner, Rocco Nushi, has not cramped up tonight at all.
Well,
and Bruce Van Dyke has been walking the grounds of the Lorain County Fair all week long.
Well,
and he has not cramped up tonight either.
Well, Bruce is limber as can be, all right? So I think we could all take a lesson from him.
I think Bruce goes to a stretch lab. Lowry over the middle. Canfield caught it inside the 30, and he's brought down at the 27-yard line.
Nice catch. Pat Canfield climbing the ladder. Good ball by Burke Lowry, too. He had to put that over top a couple defenders.
You know, Canfield's been a good player for them tonight. You've mentioned it, Rocco, a couple of times. They've got weapons offensively. They certainly have a talented quarterback. They just don't have a running game and an offensive line.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Lowry again. Lowry left side, again complete, and down to the 20-yard line. And thrown out of bounds is another one of those talented wideouts, J.R. Beto. Beto's a senior. Allen's a junior. Canfield is a senior. The quarterback, Lowry's just a junior. Those are some of the names we've called a lot tonight for this Fairview offense. Lowry going to roll right, looking for a block, gets it, throws it, and he throws it over the head of Canfield.
Another cramp.
And this one, for the first time tonight,
Fairview Warrior.
By a Fairview Warrior.
And they already know the drill. Just down on the back, legs straight up, stretch it out.
The shutout has been averted. Fairview has a player cramped. The first Warrior tonight.
Unbelievable. They feed those kids over there in Fairview, huh? Water, Gatorade.
I think Saturday Night Live needs to do a skit based on this football game tonight.
Yeah, let me hit up my close friend Keenan Thompson and tell him about what's happened in Lorain, Ohio.
Can you see Keenan cramping up? He would be awesome.
He could play it off well.
He could play it off.
Oh,
He could do that and do it very well.
Yeah.
People would laugh. That would be great. There are still 10 minutes left. 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in this football game. It's 28-0 Clearview.
See if I can find some scores. Well,
Buckeye won. I know that. That was the final.
Avon up 35-21, fourth quarter.
3rd and 2, ball to 20. Lowry in the shotgun, standing at his own 25. He gets it. Going to throw a flip. Canfield was coming across the middle, and, boy, he just ran into Clippers. Canfield ran into a whole lot of people, including Manny Moore, and got nowhere.
Manny Moore, dude, he's fired up down there. His team's up 28-0. You could just put things in cruise control if you were him, if you really wanted to, but he's still fighting.
Manny Moore, the junior. The only senior on that defensive line for Clearview is Longo, Josiah, the two-time All-Ohio defensive end. Lowry looking to throw, right side does. Canfield caught it near the 20 and was tackled there. Needed to get to about the 18 and a half, and I think he's going to be short on 4th and 4.
Needed 4, he got 3 9/10. Yep.
I think you're going to see a steady diet of running the football.
I would think so.
Coach Collier is going to get an opportunity to find out if he can find a running back in the next 9:43.
Well, he's got 2 for sure. In Yentilli and Cam Williams. I'll throw Josiah Longo in there. He's got 3 legit tailbacks. And the rumblings to our left in the press box say number 5, Christian Stevenson's going to be a heck of a tailback in due time as well for these Clippers.
Well, Jerry Romas, the scoreboard operator who has seen 50 straight years of Clearview football, he's probably got a decent read on talent.
Yeah, I would trust that judgment.
He said the running back of the future is not on the field tonight. Christian Stevenson, sophomore. Uh-oh is right. Running with the football all the way down the sidelines to the 30-yard line of Fairview. Troy Jones.
First catch tonight for number 10 in blue.
Caught it, ran with it, and almost outran everybody. You and I were telling stories about future running backs, and Troy Jones said, hey, pay attention up there. Hey, look at me run.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, no, it's coming back. There's a flag back at the 28-yard line.
You joked about midnight earlier, Ron.
We might get there.
Oh, man.
About a half hour ago, I said there was 10:23 on the game clock.
Man.
It's 9:32 left now.
You can call me Speed Racer on this post-game show, Ron. I'll tell you that much. Got a burrito at home with my name.
The guys from Brown Stadium, Polinsky and
man.
Pelter and Kozar and Evans, they'll be home. Yeah. They'll be drinking, a nice warm milk or something by the time we get out of here.
I know exactly where those hooligans will be.
Not where they should be.
Oh.
That was a pass from Christensen trying to get it back, too. I think it was Jones.
Yeah.
Said one more time, young man, and it didn't happen.
Two
Pass
sides
is incomplete.
two sides of the coin right there, right? 80-yard gain, one play gets called back. Next time you get the ball right back in your hands, drop. Trials and tribulations of a high school football wide receiver right there.
2nd and 11. Ball's at the Clearview 19. Clippers up 28-0. Led 16-0 after a quarter. Led 22-0 at halftime. Handoff. With the football up over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Cam Williams picks up a first down. Well, he's going to be short, 2 yards.
Short.
Cam Williams did not carry the football last year. As a matter of fact, only 2 players on this current roster carried the football last year. One was Antilli, or is Antilli. The other was the quarterback, Christensen. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is brand new. Clippers needed 2. They went right up the middle, and I don't know that they got it.
I don't think they did, yeah. That's big 56 in white right there. Danny O'Neal, the sophomore, making a nice play for the Warriors here in the late stages.
Williams carried it. He lost a yard. Clock's at 8:32 and counting. Or subtracting. Should I say subtracting? Right? I should.
Yeah.
It's not counting. It's not going up.
Well, it's getting late, Ron. You can say whatever the heck you want. I'm not going to fight you on it. Just don't call me late for dinner. We'll be all right.
All right. So for the first time tonight, I think, it is a traditional punt situation for Clearview. Now, Christensen has done at least 3, maybe 4 pooch punts. Rocco, am I remembering this right? Is this the first time we've had a traditional setup for a punt?
I think so, yeah.
And there's a timeout on the field.
Well, we knew that.
Well, let's take one, too. Bruce, let's take another. Clearview just punted. Fairview fumbled the punt. Brandon Martin in punt coverage for the Clippers recovered it. And Clearview has the football back. Rocco and I were chuckling during the timeout because Bruce Van Dyke.
Yeah, I blame Bruce.
Has spent time tonight researching how to work at not getting a cramp, how to be prepared to not cramp up, what to do before there's an opportunity to cramp, and Rocco will continue the storyline in a moment. 1st and 10, Clippers with the ball on the Fairview 45. They'll hand it off. Trying to churn that clock. It's at 8 minutes. Longo's going to pick up 3 right up the middle. So if you don't want to cramp, according to the research done by our partner Bruce Van Dyke, besides water and Gatorade, electrolytes, stuff like that, what do you need here, Rocco?
Make like one of those monkeys and get yourself a banana, Ron. You need bananas in your diet to avoid the cramp. A little potassium. Get the fruit food group covered. It's all good when you get yourself a banana or 2 or 3 even.
This is great information late in this football game. You can't get this anywhere else.
Oh, no. Exclusive stuff.
Hill's going to carry it. There's a holding flag that has been thrown. JG's getting up to the 41, and he's thrown back near midfield. The line of scrimmage will be the 41, but that's going to change after the holding call. And that, of course, stops the clock. So they'll back them up 10. And I believe the Clippers are going to get the ball on the other side of the 50.
Couple quick scores, if I could, Ron. Bishop Hartley leading Elyria Catholic, 47-28. Lorraine on top of Brush, 26-19. Avon League leading Strongsville in the fourth quarter, 21-12. Brookside was on top of Brooklyn, 26-0. Berea Mid-Park and Brunswick deadlocked at 27. That's an interesting score there. Amherst has taken control over Copley, 34-18, and it's Ridgeville all over North Olmsted, 34-zip.
Well, Amherst is actually, 34-18 sounds like they've been in control, but they weren't. They were down in that game.
That's correct.
Quick pass out on 2nd and 18. It's complete. but it gets back to the line of scrimmage. It went from Christensen to Devin Jackson near that Clearview sideline.
Yeah, how about Will Allen there for Fairview, number 12 in white, says, all right, if I can't get the ball on offense, I'll go make a defensive play. He saw that thing the whole way coming, just made a beeline for Jackson as he wheeled out of the backfield to his right side. Nice play by Will Allen.
3rd and 22. 4 receiver set. Clippers will hand it off. Running with the football is Longo, breaking tackles. Josiah down to the 44 of Fairview. They needed 22. He picked up 13. He'll set him up for a 4th and manageable.
And decision time here at all, or?
I think with the clock moving at 5:50, Christensen's going to take his time. There's 15 seconds on the play clock. He can take this down to 5:30. They'll run another play. Longo is in the backfield on the left hip of his quarterback, Christensen. Sai's going to punt it. Took the snap, punted it.
Good bounce.
And it's going to circle back and be stopped at the 3-yard line. The bounce that Rocco described, it hit hard at about the 8 and then almost did like a U-turn at the 5.
Man, I thought for sure that was going into the end zone,
Yeah.
but, oh, man, we got another cramping Clipper. He's getting his way off the sideline.
Garcia
but tell,
again.
yeah, that's Isaiah Garcia.
Leads the team tonight. I don't even think it's close.
Oh, and cramps. I was like, leads the team. I should have kept the tally. I didn't think this would be. I didn't think this would be a developing storyline, but here we are. My goodness.
Clock is stopped at 5:25. Ball is on the Fairview 3. And a whistle. Flag, motion penalty on Fairview.
You know, Ron, we kind of joke about just getting to the end of the game and how things kind of drag on and whatnot, but, you know, I think if you're either sideline at this point, I mean, like, for all intents and purposes, this game's over, right? So you're just trying to get through these next 5.5 minutes without any more injuries or anything like that. I mean,
Now we're approaching a 3-hour football game.
and again, that's for both sides. You're just trying to get out of here without any more damage.
Ball's at the 1.5. And actually, there was another
they let that
procedure
go.
penalty that they let go. Fairview's tailback started early before the snap. Lowry was under center, and they just flat out ignored it.
Yeah,
I mean, the back judge was staring at
That
it.
was Juju Clark. Got off to a little false start there.
Second and 12. Lowry throwing it to the Fairview sideline to Lowry's right, and it's incomplete.
Who was that in coverage right there? Was that Adrian Sams, number 2, getting into the ballgame?
Yes, it was.
Haven't called his name yet tonight. Figured we might see a couple of substitutions here on both sides. Keep bodies fresh. Long season ahead still.
Corey Armelin is in at a corner slot right now. Tony Jones playing cornerback defensively. Had that nice catch and run. Jones almost with a pickoff. Well, they threw that one right at
Yeah, man.
Juju Clark, and Tony Jones stepped in front of it.
Yeah, that was a corner out by Juju Clark, and a good one. Had Troy Jones not just been sitting all over it. And, yeah, Burke Lowry almost gifted Troy Jones an interception right there, and that could have been a house call.
Next week, it does not get any easier for Fairview as there's a flag on the punt, offsides on Clearview. Next week, Fairview goes to Columbia.
It's not an easy place to go get a win, as we know very well here at WEOL.
Clearview will be here at home again next week. They'll take on Lakewood. And the Rangers handed the Clippers one of their 3 losses last year.
That was the shootout you mentioned, 42-41.
41-40.
Or
Yeah.
41-40, yeah, okay. Oh, that was almost blocked.
Punts off, lands at the 30, and will be down at the 32-yard line. So the Clippers will have it 1st and 10 from the Fairview 32. 4:32 left. We'll take one more 30-second time. Ball at the 30. Handoff to Cam Williams. Cam right side to the 15-10, and run out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
It's one of Clearview's longest runs here tonight. Pickup of 24. J.G. Hill had a 28-yarder earlier this half, but nice pickup for Cam.
I think Clearview will be okay with their running back situation here, Ron.
The only bad part about that run?
Went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds. Williams will stay in the backfield. He's on the left hip of Cy Christensen. Cam's going to get it again. Try right side. Cam to the 5, fighting off a tackle. He can't, and he's tackled at the 4-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 5. That's Vinny Rizzo with the tackle.
Well, the good news for you, Ron, is if I'm not mistaken, I believe 30 is the running clock mark. So if Clearview finds a way to punch this bad boy in.
You say good news for me, like, Rocco, you're okay with the 3-hour football game.
You've done more griping than me, and that may be because of the play-by-play position you're in.
Yes, I have. I am so sorry.
That's all right. Like I said, big old burrito at home waiting for me. I'll tell you that.
Williams, Cam gets it. Cam Williams tackled at the 1-yard line. 1 yard short of a touchdown. 3:30 left to play. It's 28-0 Clearview.
And I tell you what, I mean, 10 carries for Tristan Yantilli, 8 for Josiah Longo, 8 now for Cam Williams. So it's a nice distribution offensively for Clearview, getting different guys involved in that backfield.
Cam get it again? Why not, right?
I think so.
Needs a
let him
yard.
finish off the drive.
Christensen's watching the play clock. He's got his hands on his hips. Play clock is right in front of him to his left. It's at 6. Now it's at 4. He'll take the snap, hand it off. Cam Williams straight up the gut, and Cam Williams is in for a touchdown.
Story of the night, Ron, just too easy. All downhill running there, left, right, center, doesn't matter.
They are all getting a push up front. That Clearview offensive front, Anthony Lockman, Manny Moore, Trenton Louder, Zach Young, Brody Wacker. Said their name a number of times tonight, but worth repeating.
Yeah, they've really been good, Rocco.
That's the kind of performance they've had tonight. Dominant.
They're going to try an extra point.
Get out of town.
Yep. And attempting it will be Ethan Gifford. Gifford is 6 foot, 170-pound offensive lineman and a linebacker. He's lining up like he knows what he's doing. Garcia will hold it. Snaps back, holds down. Kick is partially blocked. So with 2:07 left, the Clippers of Clearview add to their lead. It's 34-0 Clearview over Fairview. We're 2 minutes away from the Clippers starting the season 1 win in 1 game. We'll be back. Now 43 seconds and counting in this football game. Clippers are ready to kick it off. Every kickoff tonight, and there have been a few of them, brought to you by EcoTree Services. Now they've stopped the clock. They're going to take it from 43 seconds and put 1:45 on it. So it's like when you lose an hour when they turn the clock back. Manny Moore will kick it off. He got a foot into that one. All the way back to the 15. Here come the Warriors. Fairview on the return up to the 33. That was Will Allen.
Yeah. Getting a couple touches. I am a fan of that young man. Saw him play some basketball this past winter. It was a very impressive basketball season last winter for the Fairview Warriors before bowing out to Lutheran East, as many teams do.
Yeah.
Many teams will do that.
Did they win
Pretty
another
good.
state championship?
I believe they did.
Yeah,
I believe they did.
Yeah.
Had a Michigan State commit on the team who looked every bit the part.
60 seconds left. Fairview's going to run it straight up the middle, breaking it to the outside and being brought down at the 44-yard line for Fairview was Mason Woodworth.
His first touch of the second half. Kind of surprising. Well, they don't even need to snap it if they really didn't want to.
Running clock's at 17. The play clock's at 25. They will snap it. They will run it. And a horse collar tackle.
Horse collar, yeah.
Well, Marcus Clark got the handoff, ran towards the Clearview sideline, the near side of the football field, and was horse collared as he was tackled. So that stops the clock with 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Game can't end on a penalty.
Correct. Cannot end on a defensive penalty, my friend. We're going to have to snap this one more time.
And why not? Clippers a second away from their first win in their first game.
Well, we're going to let that be it.
And we are a snap away, now no longer, from the Nick Abraham Automall postgame show. You can hear the crowd roar. It was a good night to be the home team. From Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School, the Clippers open with a win. An impressive win, 34-0, the shutout over the Warriors of Fairview High School. I'm going to take a timeout. Bruce, maybe in my ear you can tell me exactly the highlights. Do we have them all for the second half that we could play right now? It was 22-0 at halftime, a score that was in the favor of Clearview. And then in the second half, there really wasn't a lot of scoring. It was a lot of defense.
Yeah, especially that third quarter.
Yeah. And the only touchdown that happened in the third came late in the third with less than a minute left, and it was one of the 6 running backs for Clearview tonight that I think carried the football.
Yes, sir.
And here's the call by Josiah. Clippers with the ball inside the 5. It's 1st and goal. Longo in the backfield with Christensen. Cy will hand it off. Josiah right side. He's got an opening. Josiah bangs a body, and he powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Josiah Longo. You could hear your woof in that touchdown call. And tell us why, Rocco.
He flattened Danny Becker, number 33 in white. Credit to that kid, the senior, played his tail off tonight on defense. Watched him a couple of times, but, just no match for Mr. Longo there. What did Mike Collier call him, the king of the weight room or the hardest worker in the weight room? It paid off right there.
He said he owned the weight room in the offseason. So I'm looking at the scoring tonight. Until he opened it with a 6-yard run. J.G. Hill had a 5-yard touchdown run. Christensen to Jackson was a 6-yard pass. So Longo's touchdown run was the third of the night, third of 4 touchdowns to this point. Then in the fourth quarter, with just inside 3 minutes to play, the last touchdown of the night happened, and it happened again for Clearview, and it happened again on the ground. Why not, right?
I think so.
Needs
let
a
him
yard.
finish off the drive.
Christensen's watching the play clock. He's got his hands on his hips. Play clock is right in front of him to his left. It's at 6. Now it's at 4. He'll take the snap, hand it off. Cam Williams straight up the gut, and Cam Williams is in for a touchdown. That Cam Williams touchdown made it 34-0 with 2:51 left to play in the fourth and final quarter, and that is it. That is the final tonight. 34-0 Clearview over Fairview in week 1 of this 2024 football season. We're going to take a timeout on the Nick Abraham postgame show, and when we come back, Rocco has final stats from this football game. And you may be surprised, you may not be surprised by the total offensive number for Fairview tonight against this tough and stubborn Clearview defense. We'll be back on AM 930 WEOL, stream 2, online, always. Rocco.
At WEOL.com.
The final tonight from Tom Hoke Field at Clearview High School. The Clippers of Clearview, winners over the Warriors of Fairview High School. Rocco Nucci, my partner tonight, has stats and scores. Rocco, take it away.
I absolutely do, Ron, as we will start first with stats from tonight's ball game. Again, Clearview shutting out Fairview 34-0. For Fairview, tough sledding offensively, obviously. Just 20 total rushing yards. They had 5 different guys carry the ball. Burke Lowry, the quarterback, their leading rusher, he carried it 3 times for 17 yards, but not much else doing. Besides that, through the air, Burke Lowry, 23 of 32 to the tune of 220 yards. He did have the 1 interception on the receiving end of many of those passes. J.R. Beto caught 7 of them for 112 yards. So that duo right there, Lowry and Beto, if you had to have a silver lining, I think you found something there if you're head football coach Sean Rance. Elsewhere, though, Pat Canfield, 5 catches for 40 yards. Mason Woodworth, 3 catches for 27 yards. Juju Clark, also with 3 catches, 22 yards. And 2 catches apiece for Savion Harris, Will Allen, and Vinny Rizzo. For about 10 yards each there. For Clearview offensively, a much better night offensively, especially on the ground. 222 unofficial rushing yards tonight for Clearview. Josiah Longo, 8 carries, 39 yards and a touchdown. Tristan Yentilli, 10 carries, 41 yards and a touchdown. 1 fumble as well. Cam Williams, a touchdown, 9 carries, 55 yards. Cy Christensen, the QB, carried it 7 times for 56 yards. And J.G. Hill kept it 3 times for 31 yards and a touchdown. Through the air, Cy Christensen, not a huge throwing night, just 13 of 19 through the air. Did have the interception, had a touchdown pass as well, 137 yards for Cy. And through the air, catching the ball, Devin Jackson, 7 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown. 3 catches, 51 yards for Tristan Yentilli. 1 catch for Isaiah Garcia, 8 yards there. 1 catch for J.G. Hill, 6 yards, and 1 catch for Tyler Chapman. He had 3 yards through the air. But again, the ground game was the big difference. Over 220 rushing yards tonight for Clearview, just 20 on the ground for the Fairview Warriors. Quickly, a couple of out-of-town scores on